It's game time here at Lefebvre Stadium. The preseason is done. The Placer Hillman come in unblemished with a 5-0 record, and tonight they've got revenge on their minds. I believe it was William Shakespeare who once said, "Revenge is a dish best served cold," and we'll see what kind of freeze the Hillman have for the Nevada Union Miners tonight. Placer did win the toss, and per usual, they deferred to the second half, so they'll be teeing it off here with one of the best kickers in the nation as far as PATs are concerned. That is Zach Rohde, and Nevada Union comes out onto the field, and we're just about ready to go. Placer tonight will be wearing their white pants with green tops, gold numbers, and then the green and gold helmets with the Placer P on the side. Nevada Union out there in their all-white pants and jerseys outlined in blue and gold and blue helmets. The JV game was a blowout. Last year when Placer played Nevada Union, it did not go the way the Hillman had foreseen, and we'll see if things are going to be a little bit different tonight as Rohde prepares to tee it up. Back deep for the Miners, number 5, Dawson Fay, a player to watch for sure, and Logan Lopez. Nevada Union, when they receive the kick, will be moving from left to right here in this first quarter of play. Dave, it is time for football in the Foothill Valley League, and we are ready to go.
Inaugural game in the FVL, and it's all night long. We got all kinds of good games tonight. We're going to keep you updated on all of that stuff. But boy, this is kind of a treat to be here for a very first game in a brand new league with two opponents that are going to be rivals for years.
Here we go. Rohde puts the toe to it, and it's going to be received. Nope, Lopez is going to let it fall into the end zone, and Nevada Union will take over. 1st and 10, moving to left to right here. Quarterback Parker Hillman will lead the Miners offense. He comes into the game 7-13 for a $144 through the air and 2 touchdowns, 10 carries for 5 yards and 1 touch. I must let you know as we give out the game stats, Nevada Union only updated their stats through 4 games on Max Prep. So if you're thinking that we're off, talk to their stat people. We're sorry about that. Placer does a great job keeping their stats up on Max Prep, something we greatly appreciate as Hillman gets the play from the sidelines, and we are ready to go. The Nevada Union Miners, coached by Brad Sparks, coming into tonight's contest 2-3. Hillman's going to break the huddle, comes out with split backs behind him. And it's going to be a fake handoff to Fay, takes a 3-step drop, throws it to the far side of the field, and a little too much mustard for his intended target, number 10, Hayden Lee. Back there on the defense for Placer, Jesse Wiggum, a name we've called quite a bit on defense here late part.
Oh yeah, Jesse Wiggum, one of my favorite guys on this team, plays a little bit of everything. He's like the Swiss Army knife guy. He'll come and play some defense, he'll come and play some offense, play some special teams, and does them all particularly well. He's got a bright future ahead of him here as a Hillman, as he's only a junior.
We'll set the defensive line. Micah Yoakum and Chandler Dakin, your defensive ends. Jesus Castillo and Colton McElroy, the tackles. This time it's going to be a handoff to Fay, and he is bottled up by a whole bunch of Hillmen, including Castillo and Chase LaGuana Scott. That's going to be a gain of 1 yard and bring up a 3rd down and 9 following the 1-yard carry by Fay.
Well, what you'll see tonight out of this Nevada Union offense, you'll see them run some pistol, and you'll also see them jump into some wing T. They were a prolific wing T team in the 90s where they dominated the area. But they've gotten away from it. Now I think they're kind of sliding back toward it again.
They'll call that a gain of 2. Now it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. That play is going nowhere. Wrapped up back deep in the backfield. Chase LaGuana Scott in on the tackle along with Jesus Castillo. Hayden Lee taken all the way back to the 15-yard line. A loss of 6 yards, bringing up 4th down and kick time for the Miners. I didn't even get a chance to set up the rest of the D. Brad Bishop, Chase LaGuana Scott, and Andrew Garza, your linebackers for Placer. Defensive backs Carson Espadal and Jesse Wiggum. Safeties Ian Howes and Ryan Arnell. And here's the kick, and this one is going to be allowed to bounce and go out of bounds. The Placer's going to have great field position here, Dave, to start this drive. This prolific offense, you do not want to give them the ball in your own territory, and that's what Nevada Union just did following a poor kick. 1st and 10 Hillman at the 45 of the Miners.
As we've seen many times this season, it only takes 1 or 2 stops by the Placer defense to turn these games into blowouts. And these kids from Placer, they got a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They lost 2 games last year. 1 to Nevada Union, 1 in the state championship to Crenshaw. They want this one.
Split backs behind Michael Stuck. We're ready to go. Marshall Chapman going across the far side. Good block out there by Grossman. The low penalty flag's going to fly. They're going to get Placer on a hold there, so this one's coming back after Marshall took it down to the 33-yard line. So while we have a moment here, well, it's a hold.
Let's see if we got the guy mic'd up to the ball against the. No, didn't hear it.
So let's set the Placer offense while we have a moment. Quarterback Michael Stuck, running back Marshall Chapman, fullback Hans Grossman. Brad Bishop comes out in the wing. Cyrus O'Neill, the wide receiver. Lewis Fudge at tight end. High Rice University, if you're listening. Good to shout out Lewis today on Twitter. And we'll set the offensive line after this next play with Placer moving from right to left. Following the penalty, it's going to be a 1st down and 15 from midfield. And we are ready to go as Stuck breaks the huddle. O'Neill, the single receiver to the near side. Grossman, the lone back behind Stuck, who takes a 2-step drop, Looking out here to the near side, and the catch is going to be made. Nice job by O'Neal, taking it down to the 43-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 7 for Cyrus O'Neal. And just like last week, Placer showing a little, I don't know, what do you want to call it? A little change of pace, if you will.
There you go. They're just changing it up a little. You can't come out and just run the football exclusively. They usually come out and they get the big three involved in the first 3 plays. This time they said, let's go airborne.
So 2nd down and 7 following the 8-yard gain for O'Neal. Hand to Hans Grossman, who's got room. He breaks into daylight down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, lowers his shoulder and knocked out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Make it the 8-yard line. Hans Grossman with a big 34-yard run to the near side. Placer Hillman in business, 1st and goal.
Right, it's just a bread and butter play for the Hillman. Give it to your big fullback. He's going to outsize most everyone, and if he gets into that second level, he can outrun the linebackers and basically steamroll the DBs. That time he put his head back down and said, you know what, I'm not stepping out. I'm going to step in. I'm going to hit you.
All right, Hillman ready to go. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. It's going to be a handoff, and heading towards the end zone.
It's the plan.
The end zone is Marshall Chapman. Touchdown, Hillman. Boom, boom, boom. The Marshall plan in effect. 8-yard touchdown. 6-0 Hillman. 9:56 left here in the first quarter.
I didn't get the start of that drive time down, but I'm going to guess it was somewhere around 11 minutes. So it took about a minute.
Took about a minute. Now before Rhodey kicks the extra point, let's set the offensive line. Left tackle Blake Bachman, left guard Austin Mader, Kyle Christensen, your center, also the long snapper. Right guard Colton McElroy, and right tackle number 74, Big Joey Capra, the Oregon-bound senior tackle. Dakin has a hold. It's a good one. Rhodey puts it up and through. So the Hillman leading 7-0, 9:56 left here in the first quarter on Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
Robinson Sand and Gravel in Auburn is a proud sponsor of high school football in the Foothills. With over 70 years of local experience, Robinson Sand and Gravel exemplifies superior service and excellent workmanship. You can find all your residential landscape, paving, and gravel needs at Robinson's, with a choice from their many gravel products. Cobble, bark, hard rock, soil blend, and a variety of decorative rocks. Stop by Robinson Sand and Gravel, 2145 Grass Valley Highway, or call 530-885-5623.
This is Marshall Chapman, class of 2019 running back, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Welcome back, Casey Freelove alongside Dave Rosenthal. That drive took just shy of a minute, and Placer put it in with a quickness.
Oh yeah, that didn't take very long at all. The whole 3 pace, 35 yards, right around a minute. Key play of the drive, the Grossman run, and of course the Marshall plan from 8 yards out for the touchdown.
That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way in downtown Auburn. Thanks to owner Christopher Kirshner for sponsoring high school football. And thanks to Auburn Trophies and More for sponsoring this kickoff, which is going to be an onside, if you will, a little pooch. Placer may have it on the ground, and I think the Hillmen have recovered. They have. Great job by Zach Rhodey there with the little squibber. And Placer emerges from the pile with the ball. There's Chandler Dakin. And no, it looks like it may have gone a little bit shy of the 10 yards necessary.
40 to the 50, baby. Yeah, they turned around and pointed the other way.
Okay, now we had some confusion with this officiating crew earlier. Let's make sure we are very clear. That is Placer Hillman ball, and that is a great call by Coach Montoya and staff. None of us were ready for that, Dave. I didn't even know what to say when he did it.
Well, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful kick, too. He just rolled that thing and followed it, looked for somebody to block someone off the ball, got that and fell on it. A little different than what we saw in the JV game, which is a traditional high bouncer that they recovered, but nonetheless, quick get for the Hillman.
Grossman and Chapman behind Stuck. He's going to take a 5-step drop, slip a little bit, throw it over to Lewis Fudge, who has it, but I don't think he picked up anything. Back to the line of scrimmage.
We'll move down.
And I believe they will mark it down right there. No, they're going to actually put it back. A couple of yards, 3-yard loss there for Lewis Fudge. Good job catching the ball. Michael slipped a little bit as he was trying to get into the throwing motion. Lucky to get it out there, and Fudge takes the 3-yard loss. All right, so Ian House checks in at receiver. Grossman and Chapman remain behind Stuck. Actually, check that Chapman now, motioning from the wing, handing out to Brad Bishop with a block out in front. And Nevada Union there.
Flag on the play.
And a flag on the play as well. Tackle made by number 3, Brom Lofgren, joined by Duke Morales.
And it's going to be holding against the Hillman. Preliminary call. And they'll take that one. You can't give Placer field position, and even when you get a hold and you get him for a loss like that, probably be the best idea to go ahead and take that penalty, push him back as far as you can. So Placer's come out and done a couple of interesting things. They run a little play action already tonight. They tried to run the sweep that time to Brad Bishop. We'll see if that continues to be the way, or they're just going to go to the ground and pound and just say, you know what, stop us.
Yeah, Marshall Chapman picking up his 13th touchdown rush of the season. Him and Hans Grossman, the elite in the state of California, one of the top 2 running back duos in the entire state. All right, so after the penalty, it's a 3rd down and 14 upcoming for the Hillmen. Stuck is going to fake the handoff. Now look downfield. O'Neal is open. He's going to throw the short man, Lewis Fudge, who has it.
got
And
the
he's going to
first
be
down, I
right there near the first
he's
down.
past it.
The fact he is, he's going to take it down to the 36-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 15 yards and a first down for the Hillman. Nice pitch and catch behind by Stuck and Fudge. And also he had O'Neal out there open in the secondary.
Yeah, but he was looking this side the whole way. I don't even think he looked the other side of the field. He was just waiting for him to clear into that flat area. Got him in between the linebackers and the DBs and made the connection.
Chapman and Grossman behind, fake it to Grossman, handed off to Marshall, going to the right side, and Chapman able to grind his way forward down to the 32-yard line. 5-yard gain for Marshall. Will bring up a second down and 5 and 4, make it a 6-yard gain.
No, it's a 4-yard gain. There we go. Marshall's got 2 for 12. Hans has still got the big gash of the day for 34, and they're going airborne.
Nevada Union stacking that box. 7 men up front there. Handed off to Grossman. Doesn't matter. He still finds a way to grind out some yards. Taking it inside the 30 and down all the way to the 26 or 27. Let's see where they put it down.
First down or not, he's really close.
They put it at the 27. It's a gain of 5, needed 6. So third down and 1 upcoming.
Third down and 1 is 4th and 1 as far. It's a 4th and go on this portion of the field.
And Dave, they're playing sellout defense. I mean, they've got 5, 6, 7 guys up there near the line of scrimmage. They know exactly what the Hillmen are trying to do.
They'll get burnt on this more than once tonight if they keep that up.
All right, now it's going to be a delayed handoff. Going over the near side is Brad Bishop. He's got the first down as he takes it inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Gain of 3 yards and a first down for the Hillmen.
So now the big three have all had touches. Chapman, Grossman, Bishop touching the ball. Lewis Fudge also getting a touch, and Cyrus O'Neal. So all the players on offense have touched the ball tonight. Way to get everybody worked into this game within the first 5 minutes.
All right, 1st and 10 Hillman. Ball at the 24-yard line. Boy, that just got loud. Ball at the 24-yard line. And now Placer showing 2 receivers up top. This one is going to be a handoff going straight ahead, continuing to turn those legs and grind out a nice gain.
Is he just a beast or what?
I mean, you've got 3 NU guys hanging on to him, and he takes it from the 24 down to the 18, a gain of 6 for Hans, and it will bring up second down and short.
And he just kept the legs moving. They tackled, they could not wrestle him to the ground. That center of gravity that he's got keeps those legs turning, and it's really hard to bring that kid down.
Second down and 4, the ball at the 18-yard line. Hillman moving from right to left here with a 7-0 lead, 6:49 left in the first quarter. Now motion the wingback is going to be a reverse going to Marshall Chapman in room, and he's gone. Touchdown Hillman. Marshall Chapman takes the reverse 18 yards to daylight, and Placer out 13-0, 6:37 left here in the first quarter. Boy, Dave, I mean, when the ball moves that much behind the line of scrimmage, it's anybody's guess who has it, Marshall and Murphy.
And that was a double reverse. They gave it to the first man through. He reversed it to Chapman, and when you saw Chapman, you saw the guard and the tackle from the other side pull around. That hole was big enough to drive a truck through, and Marshall Chapman's not the size of a truck, but he scooted and was untouched into the end zone.
Brody in here for the extra point, held by Dakin. And the kick splits the uprights. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way in Auburn. Check them out on Facebook. They've got everything to furnish your cave. Thanks to owner Christopher Kirchner for sponsoring high school football. 14-0 Placer, 6:37 left in the first quarter on KAHI.
Have you seen the latest KAHI gear, t-shirts, polos, and sweatshirts? They look great, and that's because we went to Special Tees in Auburn to do the work for us. Special Tees does custom screen printing for sports teams, businesses, clubs, special occasions like family reunions, and of course, for KAHI. Special Tees has been around since 1976. They have an experienced production team ready to make you the best t-shirts in town. Special Tees, 140 Hoffman Avenue in Auburn. Give them a call at 888-8200 or visit specialtiesinsports.com.
Welcome back to the KAHI Studios. This is Tarek Ansari, and this is a KAHI Game Break. Let's get some scores from around the Foothill Valley League. Lincoln and Oakmont are scoreless. Rio Linda up 14-12 on Ponderosa, and from outside the league, looks like Wood Creek, actually in the Sierra Foothill League, Intercom has the 9-0 lead at Wood Creek in West Roseville, California. Now back out to Casey and Dave with the call.
Jackson Horn and Dawson Fay back deep to field the kick off the leg of Brody. This one's going to be fielded by Horn at his 15-yard line. Cuts back to the center field, 25-30. Now back to the far side, finds a little daylight, and tackles down at the 32-yard line where the Miners will have it. 1st and 10, trailing 14-0. Boy, Dave, going as expected on script. I mean, these boys had essentially 2 bye weeks if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because the offense didn't have to do much against El Dorado. They were able to put in subs very early. So a couple of weeks off, and Placer coming out, firing on all cylinders. That's the biggest difference between now and last year. As Blake Bachman told me on the coaches show and on the afternoon news, they just come out, they're ready to go. They don't need a drive or 2 to warm up. All right, so ready to go here. Hillman is going to hand it off, and nothing doing there, trying to move straight ahead. I believe it was Dawson. Yep, Dawson Fay. And he is stopped right there at the 32-yard line.
So Fay's carried twice for a yard.
Check that. Let's take off a yard. They put it back at the 31, so lost a yard. So he's got zero.
Twice for -1.
Okay. Good job by those Hillman front linemen there. Running the 4-3, of course, is Placer. Fay breaks the huddle. Now second down 11. Ball in the far hash. 2 backs behind. Hand it off. And coming to the near side is Jackson Horn trying to find the edge.
Great tackle.
Great open field tackle. My goodness, Ian Howes came up in the safety position and dropped him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, another no gain play. So that is, so far they've run for 1, -6, -1, and 0. That's been the total offensive output right now for the Miners.
Third down and 11. Ball now here on the near side of the field on the near hash as Dawson Fay and Parker Hillman and company are trying to get something going here. Already trailing by 2 touchdowns halfway through a quick moving first quarter.
Now, if any indication of the receiver, they may be going into a wing T right here.
Yep, single receiver up top, split backs behind. Now we've got movement before the snap. That's
Yeah,
going to
it's gonna
be a
get
false
some
start.
Yes, it is.
So back them up 5. It'll bring up third down and 16 now. And Placer defense out there fired up.
Well, the Hillman took it on the chin last year. The first half was kind of close, but the 43-16 final at Nevada Union, they're not real happy about that, and they have really got a grudge or an axe to grind tonight. And so far, they're grinding it pretty well, 14-0.
Third down and forever, 3rd and 16 to be specific. The ball all the way back at the 26-yard line. They'll need to take it up to the 41-42 to pick up a first as Hillman has the play and now comes in. Ready to go.
And again, it looks like, no, they're going to go do a pistol again.
Well, they'll go to a pistol, 2 receivers up top. Fade to the
some
right
pressure here.
of
Here
Hillman.
it comes.
And now he's going to be sacked. Colton McElroy and Jesus Castillo give him each a half. Chandler Dakin in there to help as well. Dropped all the way back at the 20-yard line. That's a 6-yard loss, and it'll bring up 4th down and 22.
Man, you better kick it away. And now you've had 3 stops in a ball game. Usually it takes more than 2 stops for the Hillman to run away and hide. There's already been 3 in this game, and they've got a chance for Dakin to return this thing. Probably going to take the ball in his own territory.
Good sign. I like seeing Dakin in there. He's a long athlete. He's really good at defensive end. He was our player of the game back in week 2.
That's
not a good
kick.
punt. It's going
Get
to
out
be
of
a
the
duck.
way.
Get out of the way. Everybody heads up. Now, the Nevada Union defender tried to push the Hillman.
I thought it hit off of the NU guy first. But
Into
it doesn't
the
matter.
ball.
It's Hillman football. And boy, was that field position.
Ryan
Are you
Arnell
kidding me?
actually touched it down, and Placer's going to be in great field position, Dave.
They're at the, 34-yard line?
1st and 10, Hillman at the 34-yard line. Don't want to neglect our sponsors. Thanks to owners Ken and Katie Osborne at Auburn Trophies and more, 1221 Grass Valley Highway, for sponsoring our first 2 kickoffs and all kickoffs here on high school football, Friday night football in the foothills, we like to call it, here on KAHI Radio. Michael Stuck and company back on offense. Their 3rd drive, 4:13 left here in the first quarter. O'Neal, the receiver, as Stuck breaks the huddle. Ball on the near hash. Single back behind, now the motion Chapman from the wing. He's got Grossman out there in front to block. Uses that block very well, cuts it back to the near side, and pushes his way all the way up near the 25-yard line. We'll call it to the 27, so a gain of 7 for Marshall Chapman. Hans Grossman doing a great job, and Joey Capra out there helping spring that lane. What's new for the Oregon-bound tackle?
Nothing new there. I'm telling you, if you'd have told Joey Montoya when you talked to him last and said, hey, Joe, how'd you like to open up on your own 35, your own 45, and your own 34? He'd have been giddy. Guess what? He's giddy because that's where they've opened their first 3 drives.
Austin Hollitz and Marshall Chapman in at receiver now on either side of the formation. Handed off to Grossman. Barreling over tackle and still moving forward. Down inside the 25 to the 22. Gain of 5 and a first down for the Hillman. Good hard running there again from Hans. And look, Nevada Union has the right strategy in terms of personnel, putting a 5-man front in there to try and slow it down. It's not working.
Well, and again, because you don't know where the ball is going. If they stay at home and everybody handles their assignment, hit the guy you're supposed to hit and don't follow the ball, you might have a shot. But right now, the way the Hillman are rolling, you don't know who has the ball, and I don't think the Miners do either.
All right, Placer ready to go again. Here's Stuck and a gun to the near side. Almost intercepted, boy. Almost had it was Carmen Diago, but the ball falls to the turf. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Hillman from the Miners 22.
Was he trying to get Chapman that time?
I believe he was. The Hillman has
Two
shown
men
a
in
new
the
wrinkle.
pattern right there.
Yeah, they've shown 2 new wrinkles where they've gone with kind of a double slot look on the near side, a single receiver up top. Now they'll bring Marshall in at the slot position, and we'll see if they have another receiver out there. I like these new
Hollitz
looks.
out there on the near side. That's a new look.
Oh, that's right. There is Hollitz. And this one's going to be a delayed handoff to Chapman. Capper out there to block along with Vader. And a good job of running by Marshall, taking it down to the 17-yard line. 16-yard line, we'll call it. That'll be a gain of 6 yards and bring up the second down and 4. Good hard running then again by Marshall. The right side of that line, Dave, just over and over and over.
It's just, it's what you do. You run into your strong side, and that's where the big boys are. Well, what am I saying? They got big boys all the way across the front. Pick your poison, Nevada Union. Try to stop a gap, and guess what? The ball will be on the other side of the field in the end zone.
Chapman and Howes, the two receivers on the near side, handing off to Grossman, going straight ahead over center. Nice hard run, tackled on the play by number 11, Cameron Diago, but not before a 7-yard gain down to the 10-yard line.
So it looks like they're just basically, we're going to show you a wrinkle here, a wrinkle there, but basically we're going to go to the bread and butter. We're going to run it between the tackles because we got the best tackles in all of NorCal. First and goal. Fresh set, clock runs. Hillman are crisp tonight.
Michael Stuck breaks the huddle. Chapman and Grossman split behind him. Delayed handoff coming to Bishop around the near side, trying to find that corner. He's not going to get there. Good job of tackling there by big number 50, Matthew Dalbon, taking Marshall down back at the 15-yard line. So a 5-yard loss there for the Hillman.
That's the first negative yardage they've had tonight, and they've tried that sweep a couple of times, but unfortunately it's been strung out rather well. And I remember Darbon from a year ago. He had a pretty big game against us in the lone loss other than the state championship game to Crenshaw.
So second down and goal upcoming from the 15, ball on the near hash as Michael Stuck breaks the huddle. Plenty of room to the far side if they want to use it. And it's going to be a reverse handoff going to Marshall Chapman. He's got daylight. He's got a touchdown. Touchdown, Hillman. Marshall Chapman 15 yards out after the reverse from Brad Bishop handoff. Great job of running. Hillman out to a 20-0 lead, and revenge is coming quickly to the Nevada Union Miners so far here in the first.
That was the same play he scored the last touchdown on. As soon as they reversed it, again, you saw nothing but lead blockers and a giant hole in front of him, and he walked it in again. Zach
Rohde looking to put up his 43rd point after try of the season as a make. This is his 46th attempt, and he splits the uprights. 21-zip. It's all Placer here in the first quarter on the hill. A minute 36 left. You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
So you've got a truck and you need some accessories, a toolbox, maybe a truck bed cover, some side steps, even a trailer hitch. Where do you find a place you can trust with great selection and prices? Hi, I'm John Brassfield, owner of Truck Smart. For over 30 years, our stores in Auburn and Rockland have provided the best selection of truck accessories in the region. I invite you to stop in today. See the Truck Smart difference for yourself.
And welcome back to the KAHI Studios. I'm Tarky, and sorry, this is a KAHI game break. It looks like a final out in Boston. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 11-6, which means Wednesday, right here on KAHI, 104.5 and AM 950. That game will be in New York. A's Yankees, 5 p.m. right here on KAHI, but in New York, no home field advantage for the A's. They'll have to take that one out in the Bronx. Now, back to Casey and Dave with the call.
Thank you, Tarek. But hey, being in and being in New York is better than not being in. A's baseball wild card coming up on KAHI this Wednesday night. Back deep to receive this kickoff, Dawson Fay and Jackson Horn for the Miners. And again, they'll avoid Fay and kick it to Horn, who lets it go over his head. And it barely got into the end zone. He had to take a second look.
Can you imagine if that thing would have chipped out and they would have got pinned down at the 1?
Well, the track meet already going on at Ponderosa, as you might expect. 21-12, Rio Linda with the lead here in the second quarter. One of the new members of the Foothill Valley League. Got a bunch of scoreless games as well, at least according to ScoreStream. And Tarek will keep you updated. One other score from the FBL. Lincoln out in front of Oakmont at Oakmont. 14-zip first quarter.
Come on, Monsters.
All right, so here we are ready to go. That kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies and more. Check them out on online at auburntrophies.com. Heileman ready to go, 2 backs behind, handed off to Fay, met in the backfield and dropped. Dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there.
This defense is inspired tonight.
Chandler Dakin taking him down at the 19-yard line, and make it the 18-yard line. Loss of 2 there for Dawson Fay, now in negative rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
It may be time to drop Dawson Fay into that pistol. He occasionally jumps in as the quarterback there. He's put it up 14 times on the season, but the majority of the time he'll run it out of that pistol. And this is only the 3rd possession for Nevada Union. Placer's got the ball twice on kicks, and of course twice on downs, and once on that onside kick.
Hillman showing a 4-man front. Back this time a little deeper. We'll call it a pistol. Looks more like a gun, though. It's going to be a handoff going to Fay. Chase Lagawada Scott is right there to drag him down. Another loss for the Miners. Take 3 more off the board back at the 15. Down goes Fay. They cannot get this offense moving because the Hillman defense, especially that front, is all over them.
They're just pushing those linemen out of the way, shedding them, and they're sending the backers after the ball carrier. And everybody is seeming to be laser focused tonight on the Placer side. They are playing some of the best defense we've seen them play all season.
Well, I think when we talk about this team, we always talk about the offense, and maybe some of these players on defense want to get their name or have a shot at our Mel's Diner player of the game a little bit later in tonight's contest. 3rd and 15, back in the pistol. And it's going to be another handoff. Laguana Scott gets a hand on Fay. He gets away, but Maldonado's there waiting for him.
That's a nice tackle by Jorge right there. I'll tell you what, he's squared up, and he's going to give away probably 4 inches and a good 40 pounds, and he squared up and dropped him on his back. First positive yardage of the day, but only, what, a couple 3-yard gain?
Actually, they'll call it 5 from the 15 out to the 20, but regardless, it's punt time again, Dave, as that ends the first quarter play. So when we come back, we'll have a punt. It's 21-0 Placer here at the end of the first quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills up here on the hill on KAHI.
Robinson Sand and Gravel in Auburn is a proud sponsor of high school football in the Foothills. With over 70 years of local experience, Robinson Sand and Gravel exemplifies superior service and excellent workmanship. You can find all your residential landscape, paving, and gravel needs at Robinson's with a choice from their many gravel products: cobble, bark rocks, soil blend, and a variety of decorative rocks. Stop by Robinson Sand and Gravel, 2145 Grass Valley Highway, or call 530-885-5623.
This is Andrew Garza, class of 2019 linebacker. You're listening to Friday Night Football on the Foothills on KAHI.
Welcome back. Boy, another powerful first quarter. Last week, Placer put up, 2 weeks ago, 42 against El Dorado. It's 21-0 here, all Hillman, as we start the second quarter of play with Nevada Union back to punt, and Chandler Dakin awaiting the punt at midfield. Will flip sides of the field. Placer will be moving from left to right here in the second quarter.
Yeah, last punt was a little dicey. It went straight up in the air and almost hit a Hillman, but instead, the Hillman got great field position. And again, Dakin could field this one somewhere at the 50, and they could start with their 4th possession inside of minor territory.
Okay, so here's the punt off the leg of Reedy Schneider. Dakin fields it in minor territory and steps forward and out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. Put it down at the 41. So Placer with the ball, 1st and 10. 11:52 left here in the second quarter, and the Hillman with 41 yards in front of them. So far, Dave, is that the 3rd time they've taken possession? 4th time in minor territory?
They have not had possession on their own side of the field yet. Own 35, own 45, own 34, own 41.
All right, Stuck and company ready to go, looking to make it 4 for 4 on possessions here as we start this second quarter. The ball in the far hash.
I fake that reverse and go deep.
Absolutely. Cyrus O'Neal, the lone receiver to the near side. Grossman lines up behind Stuck, and this time it's going to be a pass. Stuck takes a 5-step drop. He's got O'Neal wide open. Makes the catch inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. Big gain. Good call by the Roseman as Placer moves it 36 yards into 1st and goal territory.
Oh, baby, that was just too easy. Too easy. What was the gain on that?
36 big
Woo,
yards.
36 biggins. Nice. All right, now you go back to your bread and butter.
Austin Hollich checks in at receiver machine. Okay, so we'll call it 35. They put it down at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for the Hillman. We've got Bishop and Grossman behind. It's going to be a handoff to Brad going on the left side, moving towards the end zone. Keeps moving those legs and in. Touchdown, Hillman. Brad Bishop from 6 yards out. No trouble. Got those legs that have a burst, and he showed it right there. 27 zip. 11:31 left here in the second quarter.
Holy Toledo. 2 plays?
2 plays.
41 yards? In
And,
about...
we'll call that 21 seconds.
Holy cow.
Holy cow is right. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave.
Oh, wait,
1,
I've
2,
got
3.
the handlebar. Let me rephrase that. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, Dave looking very Bill King-like with the dapper mustache wax working tonight. As good snap by Christensen, good hold by Dakin, and another good kick by Zach Brody. All Hillman here at home on the hill, 28-0. 11:31 left in the second quarter on KAHI.
Hi, my name is Staff Sergeant Justin Knoll, your local U.S. Air Force recruiter for the Rockland, Auburn, Truckee area. My office is located at 996 Pleasant Grove, Suite 140 in Roseville. Stop by today and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in the world's greatest air force, including our top-notch technical training and educational program. You can contact me at 916-284-3273 or email at justin.knoll@us.af.mil. That's justin.noll@us.af.mil. This message is brought to you by the United States Air Force.
This is Michael Stuck, class of 2019 quarterback, and you're listening to Friday Night Football on the Foothills on KAHI.
Well, Dave, you can't do it much quicker, much more efficient than this Placer offense. We call it the machine, and the machine is clicking on all gears. They might have synthetic oil in there tonight.
And on a natural turf field, too. Can you imagine later on in the year when this thing maybe gets a little damp, maybe gets a little muddy, and people have to come in here and try to get together with this team? I'm excited to see him play on some turf, some field turf here in the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Ready to go here. Brody puts a boot to it. You've got Horn back deep along with Faye. This one is going to be fielded by Faye. Dancing around trying to find some room, and then answered by a bunch of Hillman on the tackle, led by number 52, Evan Robinson. So Nevada Union will have the ball, 1st and 10, moving from right to left here as the second quarter is fresh. The ball will be placed down at the 23-yard line. So
their drives have been own 20, own 32, own 20, and own 23.
And that is spelled punts that the Hillmen have been able to take back into their territory and get things done. That kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and More, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Shopping Center. Now under center is Hillman. He's going to hand it off to Horn, going over the right side. Able to spin off of a tackle and still moving. Broke a couple of tackles and takes it all the way up
late. That was a great
to the 37
And he had House again.
That's a 14-yard gain by Jackson Horn. And House was over there, Dave.
Yeah, it was Ian coming up, playing cornerback and circling all the way around from the far side of the field, chasing him up the sideline and grabbing him around the knees from behind and bringing him down. Nice play by Ian that time.
So the first positive rushing play really for the Miners so far tonight.
First down.
At the 37-yard line, their own 37 on the far hash. Back under center is Hillman, handed off to Faye, and nothing doing there. The entire Hillman line awaits him. Takes it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Laguana Scott in on the tackle, as is Castillo.
Yeah, and that time they jumped back into that wing T formation and tried to use a little wing T trickeration, but the Hillmen have seen that in practice all the time. Nothing's going to surprise them from this offense, I don't think. They may have to just try to go to the air, and it's not their forte.
All right, so ready to go here.
More wing T.
More wing T back under center is Hillman. He's going to fake it. Now take a 7-step drop, scramble to the far side. He's got a little bit of room as he brings it out of bounds, up across the 40, near the 43-yard. Looks like they might mark it back a little further back, though. They'll take him back at the 40, so a gain of 3 there by Hillman. We'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
And again, they're jumping in and out. They're going a little pistol, then they're going to go a little wing T, back a little more wing T. Wing T is the thing that Hillman are most familiar with, and it's like playing your mirror image. Only the mirror image isn't as good as the real thing.
3rd down and 7. Split backs behind, and it's going to be a handoff to Horn. Laguana Scott awaits him. Also joined by Yoakum, and in on that tackle as well was Garza. So the Hillman line doing a great job. He was able to.
And they're sending the punt team out again.
Yeah. He got a 2-yard gain there. We'll give that to him. But it is 4th and 5, and they're going to have to punt.
And this is their 3rd consecutive turnover on downs, if indeed they do punt the ball away. Careful for the trickery.
Reedy Schneider, the punter here for Nevada Union.
Oh, my goodness, and he got off a horrible punt.
Boy, that one's barely going to make it across midfield.
Nice
it does take
minor
a minor
bounce,
bounce and rolls out of bounds at the Placer 40-yard line. Hillman will take over, looking to go 5 for 5 on drives here with 9:49 left in the second quarter of play. Placer moving from left to right.
And that's their first drive starting in their own territory.
And it's not that deep in their own territory, that's for sure. Ball will be on the far hash. Hollitz is back in there at receiver here on the near side. Stuck and company getting ready to break the huddle. This offensive line playing their brains out as Christensen's ready with the ball to snap it to Stuck. It's going to be a fake handoff. Now Michael takes a 5-step drop looking downfield. He's got Lewis Fudge wide open at the 30. Takes it to the 25, cutting to the near side of the field. And inside the 25, tackled down at the 24-yard line. So Lewis Fudge with a 36-yard gain. Boy, Michael Stuck's passes are looking crisp. I talked to him about this week, and he said he's been working on it.
Okay, let me correct myself from earlier. The drives for the Hillman started at the NU 35, NU 45, NU 34, NU 41, and OM 41. My bad.
All right, so now the Placer will put 2 receivers up top, Chapman and Hollitz. Grossman and Bishop behind, handed off to Hans, going to the left side, and he's got plenty of room. We'll see if they can bring him down. Dances over the defender and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman. Hans Grossman, unstoppable. 34-0 Placer. We've still got 9:18 left in the second quarter. Dave, the defender, had a chance, but he was no match for a man of that size, and he's just a boy still.
He didn't have a chance.
And I mean that the most complimentary way. I mean, can you imagine being 17 years old, folks, 6'3", 215, 220, and having somebody try and tackle you? Well, he made it look easy, and the Hillmen have done that throughout the game. Already 34 zip. And offsides are the Miners. Let's see if Placer. Well, let's double check. Could be a false start. I don't know. There was some movement on both sides of the ball.
Another 30-second drive.
That was, yeah. They took,
just about.
Yeah, I think they took over at 9:48, so I think that's exactly what it was.
1:41. It should say, yeah. All right, so we knock another one through. He's got like 50 of these things already?
Yeah, move it forward. Good hold. Splits the uprights. 9 minutes, 18 seconds left. It is 35-0. The Placer Hillman looking like one of the best teams in the Sac Joaquin section here on Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
For classic American food and a fun atmosphere, it's Mel's Diner in Auburn. Mel's is a throwback to the great diners of the 50s and 60s with great food and service and family-friendly. Fabulous burgers like the Big Bopper, a wide variety of salads, huge dinner entrees, and classic fountain drinks and desserts. Stop by Mel's right after the Placer High football games, or on Saturday, just show your ticket stub and get a 10% discount. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the place to be is Mel's Diner, 1730 Grass Valley Highway at Luther Road in Auburn.
Welcome back to the KAHI Studios. I'm Tarek Ansari, and this is a KAHI Game Break. Let's look at a few scores from around the area, starting out with Antelope. Oh, they have a lead right now, 31-0 on Bella Vista. Looking at some more scores right here. Oak Ridge up 7-0 on Grant Union, and let's see, one more right here. There we go. Intercom up 24-0 on Wood Creek. Yikes! In the second quarter. Now back to Casey and Dave with the call.
And that was a two-play 60-yard drive that took a whole 30 seconds. Nevada Union's probably thinking, I thought we got out of the SFL.
Good call, Dave. Ready to go here. Rhodey's going to tee it up and kick it off. It's going to go to the up back. It fields it at the 20-yard line. That's number 44, Logan Lopez, cutting back to the far side. Boy, nice hit, nice contact there.
Yeah, they're going to go helmet to helmet.
Yeah, Jorge Maldonado was in there with his helmet.
Jorge put his head down, trying to get him in the knees. The running back, or the return man, is the one that put his head down and caused the contact. Yeah, they're going to call it against Nevada Union because Maldonado was down low for the knees. He put his head down and hit Maldonado head-to-head. It's going to cost them 15 yards the other direction, and what has already begun to be a miserable night for Nevada Union continues in that direction as they will start even deeper in their own territory.
Now, by the way, if you want to give it a shout-out while it's still close and you're listening, give us a tweet here at KAHI Sports, and we'll be happy to shout you out, including, as we mentioned earlier, Johnny Capra listening out there in Utah. Best of luck with your shoulder surgery recovery. And, of course, Jacob Capra up there at Oregon with the entire Oregon offensive line getting ready for their big game against Cal Berkeley, a game that you'll hear tomorrow night right here on KAHI Radio. Hi, fellas. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for being a part of Hillman football on KAHI. Faye's ready to go, and it could have been picked. Boy, Ian House.
Ian is having a good game tonight.
Had his arms up. The pass intended for Diago, and it went right through his hands and almost into Ian's. Second down and 10 upcoming.
We've called Ian a couple, 3 times already, and it's all been on really good plays. A great come from behind tackle to stop the drive, another breakup in there, and a good special teams play, and now a near interception.
Well, Dave and I were talking off air about, first half records. I think 56 against El Dorado 2 weeks ago in the first half has to be a record. Still plenty of time left here in the second quarter, though, as going across the far side, I believe that is Faye. No, actually, that's Jackson Horn. He'll take it from the 12 up to the 15-yard line. So a gain of 3, and it'll be third down and long once again.
Another third and long situation for these Miners is one they've been in all night. They have gotten really very little going outside of one big rush by Jackson Horn for 14. It's been basically a 3-and-out night for the Miners.
Ian Howe's in on that tackle, and he's having himself a great night. Probably vying for our Mel's Diner player of the game, which we'll announce at the conclusion of tonight's contest. Back under center is Hillman. It's going to be a delayed handoff this time going to Hayden Lee, and Lee is not going to have much. He's pushed out of bounds. In fact, he may have lost yards. Forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line, so a loss of 1 and fourth down upcoming for Nevada Union.
So that time they went back to that wing T. They tried to run the play the Hillman are very familiar with. You fake the dive and you run the sweep, and the Hillman had none of it. Everybody in green strung that thing all the way out to the sideline, finally pushed him out for that loss. And once again, the Miners are kicking the football away, and once again, Placer's going to get it inside Nevada Union territory after this punt.
Now Faye will line up to punt it. It's a high snap. Chandler Dakin awaits the punt, and that one's going to go off his foot. It does take a nice Nevada Union bounce.
It's down right there where he kicked it.
But once again, Placer's going to have the ball starting in Miner field territory at the 45-yard line. So 8:04 left here in the second quarter. Hillman take over on downs, and we'll see what Nevada Union has defensively. But my goodness, they haven't put up much of a fight so far.
And they're no different than anybody else this season, to tell you the truth, Case. We've seen this all season long. You've got a team that returned 17 of 22 starters that went to a state championship game. Another year under another new conditioning program with guys that have been running this thing since they were Pee-wees.
Stuck, ready to go. Grossman, the lone back behind. And now Michael's going to take a 7-step drop, throw it out there to the far side. Little too much mustard. He threw it to the near side shoulder of the intended receiver, Marshall Chapman.
He threw it to the back shoulder.
Yeah.
If he led him out to the front, Marshall was going to get the corner, and that was going to be a big gainer. But he just threw it to his back shoulder pad. Just not a good touch pass that time by Mike.
You know, talking to Michael on the show this week on KAHI Radio Thursdays at 5:30, he said, look, if coach will let me throw it, I want to throw it. I've been working with my guys all summer. We got out there after practice, spent some extra snaps getting ready, and it's shown so far. 2nd down and 10, ball still at the 45-yard line. And this one, once again, going to Hans Grossman. Just when you think he's stacked up the line of scrimmage, he drags 4 defenders for 4 yards, and it will bring up a 3rd and manageable after they gain a 4.
Grossman is just fun to watch. If you're in earshot, if you haven't been out to see this football team, they'll be on the road. If you're down towards the Rio Linda area, if you're down towards the Oakmont area, if you're going to be over in Lincoln there, somewhere down the line, get out and watch this football team. They are very, very entertaining.
Split backs behind Stuck. And a little movement there
on the outside.
Yeah.
And that's the new kid on the block as they brought in Austin Hollitz. And Hollitz kind of moved a little bit early. I think that was Hollitz. Or was that? I can't believe that was Chapman.
Well, Marshall was leaning a little bit. It's going to move it back
the man
behind.
who came in motion. I thought that was Austin.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Well, the 10 and the 18, sometimes you can't tell because they get crinkled. I hate it when those uniforms get crinkled.
So 3rd down and 11 now for the Hillman. O'Neal in there at receiver, with Placer moving from left to right, looking to score on yet another drive. This is their 6th of the game. They put up 5 touches so far. Stuck under center, 2 backs behind. Fake it to Grossman, hand out to Marshall, coming around the near side. Marshall with a nice hard stiff shoulder, I should say, for Horn, but then wrestled out of bounds shy of the 40-yard line. In fact, that's just going to be a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Hillman.
First 4th down of the night for the Hillman. I don't think they're going to kick it away.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't at all.
There's no need. You're not worried with your defense the way they're playing.
No, the defense is playing great, and the Nevada Union Miners have not shown they can really stop it. It's just a matter of which one are you going to give it to this time.
Well, who doesn't love a 4th down? Here we go, 4th and 8. Chapman will go up top as a single receiver. O'Neal on the near side, stuck under center with Grossman behind. And Michael is going to get a chance to throw. He's got time now, scrambles to the far side, still looking downfield. Got it wide open to O'Neal, takes it inside the 30, 20, and down inside the 15-yard line. Great job of Michael Stuck throwing on the run. And the ball goes from the Hillman 43 all the way down to the 14-yard line, Dave. They call that 29 yards.
29er to, again, Cyrus O'Neal, who's had 7:36 and now 29 for the Hillman. Like the way that Michael, rolling to that side, dropped down 3/4 sidearm, kind of zipped it in there with the sidearm throw, hit him right on the 9, and Cyrus did a nice job of moving the ball forward after the catch, and run after the catch.
Hollitz in there, receiver, split backs behind, handoff going to Chapman, coming over the near side. Marshall moving over to the near side, he's got room and in. Touchdown, Hillman. Marshall Chapman, 14 yards across the seam and into the end zone. Placer up 41-0 with 6:40 left here in the 2nd quarter. Bring on the run clock. That's 4 touchdowns for the Marshall plan, pushing his team lead out to 16 on the year. My goodness.
And I think Hans is going to get a little jealous and have to give him the football.
Actually, check that. If he's got 4 tonight, that's 18 for Marshall. Hans had 12 coming into tonight. 18 touchdowns for one player. Are you kidding me? All right, so 41 zip, all Placer here. Christensen will have the snap, Dakin with the hold, and Brody attempting to make yet another PAT, and he does that. That's his 47th PAT make of the season. All Placer up here in front of a packed house, 42 zip, 6:40 left in the 2nd quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
For all your heating and air conditioning needs, make it Mackey. Mackey is a proud supporter of Placer High School football. And now for the end of the Placer football season, Mackey Heating and Air is offering all Hillman supporters a $50 discount on any service. Just ask for the Placer Hillman $50 discount. And Mackey proudly installs quiet, cool, whole house fans. Call Mackey Heating and Air at 530-885-3449 or 916-782-9242 or visit MackeyAir.com. Remember to ask for the Placer Hillman $50 discount.
And welcome back to the KAHI Studios. I'm Tarek Ansari. A quick game break on the Oakland A's, who you can always listen to right here on the Voice of the Foothills KAHI. They're down right now, 5-0 in LA to the Angels. Mike Fiers gave it 5 runs, including 2 home runs in the first 3 innings. Yikes, not a good start for a guy who might start the wild card game. Anyway, back out to that blowout on the hill, guys.
2 minutes, 28 seconds off the clock, just 2 seconds short of the longest drive, at least time-wise. Tonight they had a 2:30 on their second, 2:28 on that one, yet to be stopped. That is touchdowns on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive drives.
Brody's going to kick it off. It's going to go to Horn, who's going to field it at his own 7-yard line. Now takes it out across the center of the field, up across the 20, and pushing it out to the 24-yard line where Nevada Union will have it 1st and 10. Already trailing hopelessly here, 42-zip. I mean, again, Dave, it's high school football. We're not trying to be rude. We're just explaining what we're seeing in front of us, and what we're seeing is Placer touch the ball and move it at will against every opponent they played this year.
There's Aaron Fuller on the tackle that time, and that kickoff brought to you by our friends at Auburn Trophies and More, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Ken and Katie, thank you for supporting Hillman football.
Hillman with that 4-3 look as Hillman hands it off to Fay, and nothing doing there. He's going to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
So it's been quite the night for this Placer defense. You know, we've seen them give up big amounts of points, but it's usually the teams that run the spread. And this team doesn't seem to have the ability to run the spread. They're trying to get it done on the ground. And so far, the Hillmen are saying, not here, not now, not on this field.
Evan Robinson, the lead tackler there. Zarin Fuller is in at linebacker. We've got a couple of substitutions. Sergio Ramirez in here at defensive back as Joey giving some other players some opportunities to play, although the 4-man front remains the same with Dakin, Castillo, and company. Now got it out to the far side. The catch is made, but not much room there.
That's because Jesse Wiggum put the hammer down.
So a gain of 1 out to the 26-yard line, as Dave mentioned. Jesse Wiggum, who's had himself a nice surge here in the last few games.
Who'd they toss that one to? I'm sorry.
That was to number 11, Diago.
Okay.
And that's going to be Wiggum's. Where is he on here? I got Jesse listed on here. That's going to be, I believe, his 23rd tackle of the year with 3 tonight, 20 coming in.
I don't know if it's the number 7 or the way he plays, but I just like that kid.
Well, here we go.
8, baby.
3rd down and 8, ball at the 26-yard line. Back to the pistol now with the handoff to Fay. And Fay finds her and gets it in the secondary. And now Fay bursting across midfield. He's a speedster. The Hillman's still tailing him. And he's going to go all the way into the end zone. 74-yard touchdown by Dawson Fay. Finally gets Nevada Union on the board more than halfway through the 2nd quarter. 42-6. Dave, Dawson Fay, we thought was the offense coming in, and he finally showed some signs of life there.
Well, they getting off tackle that time. He got into the 2nd level and had the angle on everybody. And really, there was nobody to chase him down. We got an injured player back at the 25-yard line, and that's a Hillman. That's not Capper, is it?
No, it's not. It is number 54, Michael Callis. Joey Capper down there on the sidelines, hanging out with his offensive line compadres. Getting ready to head back out on the field.
So Michael Callis, one of those guys that came in. And it looks like they're stretching. That could be a cramp, the way that they're looking at that. I don't have glasses.
Well, I do. And it looks like it is cramps because they are stretching out that right calf. Hopefully he's okay. While we have a moment, let's thank some sponsors. How about Truck Smart in Auburn and Rockland? Depot Bay Coffee Roasters, 983 High Street. Matt Spokely for Auburn City Council. The United States Air Force, Newcastle Area Business Association, and Mackey Heating and Air. Now through the end of the weekend, they have a whole house fan sale when you purchase and install select cooling and heating systems.
Yeah, give them a call. Get that thing taken care of. That ultra quiet whole house fan that they installed is a pretty tasty little piece of equipment.
Callis looks like he's fine. A little slow coming off the field, but he looks okay.
Moises Tovar, the kicker for Nevada Union.
Great kicker name, the junior. Number 81, an interesting number for a kicker.
I just like the helmets. It's that early Michigan design.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flying wing. And I'll tell you, when they were in the 90s and they were running that wing tee to perfection, much like Placer does, that was the scariest thing you could see coming onto the football field. It was the NU Miners under Dave Humpers running that wing tee.
Lee will have the snap. Hillman will be the holder. It's a bad snap, and it rolls through the hands of Hillman, and it's going to be dropped down there for the Hillman. So special teams not working. Everything is working for Placer, who will be back on offense on the other side of this break with a 42-6 lead here on KAHI Radio.
Depot Bay Coffee Roasters features coffee roasted right on site. This fall, enjoy a pumpkin spice latte or one of their espresso drinks, a smoothie, or milkshake. Depot Bay also has great breakfast burritos and sandwiches, bagels, a wide lunch sandwich menu, including paninis, and every home game Friday, Depot Bay donates 20% of all proceeds to the Placer Hillman Football Boosters. 983 High Street in Auburn, across from Bank of America. Proud sponsor of Hillman Football. Open every day with online ordering at depoebaycoffee.com.
This is Jesse Wiggum, class of 2020, running back and safety, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Replay 74 yards, 1 minute 25 seconds as the Miners finally get on the board thanks to their star, Dawson Fay. Dawson this year playing for a couple of his compadres that passed away this last season, dedicating the season to them. And so far, he has had a monster season.
That he has. I mean, coming into tonight's play, he had 53 carries for 418 yards, 6 touchdowns, a reception for 14 yards as well, and 7 of 14 for 65 yards through the air.
And that's only through 4 games posted, correct?
That's only through 4 games. We didn't have the 50. Look, I checked every day. I checked this afternoon. There was only 4 games listed on Max Press.
So they didn't put the Fairfield game up yet, that 21-0 game from a week ago?
I believe that.
Which, by the way, was at Schaefer Stadium, which is my alma mater.
There you
At
go.
least for high school.
The Rosemans. The legend of the Rosemans.
Just throwing something out there.
I like that. Tovar with the kick. Back deep to field and for the Hillman is going to be O'Neal coming across the 20, 25, out across 35, a little daylight to the 40, 45, and finally driven out of bounds near midfield. Good hard run there by Cyrus, found a step over the defender and picked himself up an extra 20 yards. Placer in great shape once again with the ball. Heck, this might even be
I think
in
they're
minor
going to be
territory.
inside minor territory yet again.
Let's see if they shade it to the, okay, so they'll shade it to the Placer side of the
They're
50.
going to call it
It's
midfield.
right there at midfield.
So we'll just call it at the 50.
With the Hillman moving from right to left, trying to build on this 42-6 lead. They have not been stopped yet tonight on offense. 6 for 6 on touchdowns as Stuck and company head into the game. You know how you can tell they're playing well? All those big linemen still have clean white pants.
Indeed, and
And
all
we're
those,
playing on a grass field.
first-string linemen are back in again.
Capra and company out there ready to go. Hand off to Bishop, going across the far side, looking to set up those blocks. He
Cut
does.
back.
He cuts it back to the near side. Bradley continuing to move. How pretty that run was, taking it from midfield inside the 35-yard line. Finally dragged down to the 33, so a gain of 17 for Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop probably got a little rest on that last Dawson run and said, you know, go ahead and give me the ball. I'm feeling fresh all of a sudden. And look who's coming back in.
Oh,
That
all
should
right.
be big number 54,
Yeah,
Michael Callis, jogging back out into the offensive line play.
And he'll sub in for Capro, take a play off here. And again, you know, with a 42-6 lead, you're not going to see the entire offense in there for the entire game. Here's Hans Grossman breaking 4 tackles, I'm not exaggerating, and taking it inside the 25-yard line. We'll shade it at the 25. Gain of 8 for Hans. Rockin' and rolling here are the Hillman on offense.
All I saw was that 25 turned into a 25 because his uniform was being stretched. All they had was a handful of jersey. The rest of Hans Grossman was 6 yards ahead of the jersey.
After that 8-yard gain, 2nd down and 2, ball at the 25-yard line, up the minors. Stuck breaks the huddle. He's got Grossman behind him. Now they'll motion Bishop from the wing. Now it's going to be a handoff to Marshall. Chapman coming across the near side, cuts it back towards the middle, and takes it down to the 20-yard line. So a gain of 5 and another Hillman first down.
No, it's the first time that they ran. That wasn't the double reverse. That was just an inside trap play. Chapman got into the second level to the outside, cut it back, put the foot down, cut it back in, and picked up an extra 3 on that one. Nice run to get the yardage by the Marshall plan.
Okay, so O'Neal in there at receiver. And Stuck and company taking a little bit of time. Don't forget, Placer won the toss and deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the second half as well. Already leading 42-6 and looking to put more on the board here. Split backs behind Michael, takes a 3-step drop, pressure coming, gets it out there. But incomplete, intended for Austin Hollis.
No, that was Chapman again.
Excuse me, Marshall Chapman. I get confused with that 8, that 0.
See, I told you. That wrinkled 0 looks like an 8 sometimes. That's the second time he's tried to get Chapman in the flat, and the second time he's missed him. Other time was a back shoulder throw that hit him in the back shoulder pad. That time was just a little bit too long for Marshall.
Carlos Reyna with a little bit of pressure there, so Stuck had to get it out quickly, which he did, but it was incomplete. 2nd down and 10 now for the Hillman. Hollis in there at receiver. And it's going to be a handoff to Grossman, going over left guard and pushing his way forward for a few yards. Tackle on the play made by number 44, Logan Lopez, but Grossman still able to pick up 3 yards to take it down to the 17-yard line.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, didn't they?
Yep.
They say his knee went down earlier? Because I don't think they gave him credit for the yardage that I thought he picked up. They give him credit for the 3 there?
They did.
Okay.
So 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 17-yard line. Stuck will get the delayed handoff to Chapman, and he's dragged down. Good job of tackling there by number 63, Sammy Slay, as Marshall takes it from the 17 to the 16. So a gain of 1 will bring up 4th down, and you know they're going.
Well, you got to go. Now, although at this point on the field, with the way their kicker's been kicking PATs, it may be an option to give him a shot at it. Here comes Chandler Dakin into the game. And they are going to send the field goal unit in? No.
Nope, Stuck comes in, Hollis comes in at receiver. Now, they will be going. 4th down and 6, 2:26 left here in the first half. Grossman and Chapman behind Stuck. Stuck's going to fade to his left. Now throw it back here to the near side into the end zone. Last second, it was tipped away. It was intended for Chandler Dakin, who just checked into the game. Good job of tipping that ball by number 11, Cameron Diago. And so for the first time tonight, Placer does not score on a drive.
Wow. they had a nice little thing going there. They started at the 50. Where they get it all the way down to the 16?
That they did.
But they did not score. So for the first stop of the night for the Hillman, and it comes on a 4th down pass that looked like it could have been a connect. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little more to the outside. But a good defensive play by the Miners to maybe get a little something going here late in the second quarter.
So your linebackers, Zarin Fuller, Evan Robinson, joined there as well by Mitchell Moore. And now here's a snap back into the pistol and nothing doing there. Well, maybe a yard perhaps, perhaps not. It looks like it's a no gainer. The ball was handed off to Fay, and last time he touched it, he went, what, 74 yards? This time, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to call it a loss of 1 there, Park.
Another loss for Dawson Fay. Well, he's got that 74 to offset it.
Robinson in on the tackle. Ryan Arnell remains in at safety. The near side cornerback is Sergio Ramirez.
Brad Bishop out from his middle linebacker position. I don't see him out on the field.
Yeah, Wiggum out there at cornerback, and then Carson Espadal as well on the far side. So 2nd and 11. Nevada Union out, back there in the pistol, handed off to Fay, looking for room over the far side. Good job of grabbing his leg by Wiggum, then finished off by Micah Yoakum. Taken up to the 21-yard line, though. That'll be a gain of 6 yards and bring up a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5.
Well, another good chunk of yardage taken by Dawson Fay. Fun to watch. He's a good running back.
If he gets ahead of steam, Dave, he can go.
Oh, yeah, as we saw it. He has pretty good speed, pretty good breakaway speed, because we had some of our quicker guys trying to chase him down, and if Jorge couldn't get him, he wasn't going to be caught.
Placer with all 3 timeouts remaining, so a critical 3rd down here if the Hillman want to try and score again before the half, so they can make a stop. Blitz, ball comes out the near side, and the blitz caused the pressure, which did not allow the throw to get to Jackson Horn, intended here on the near side. 4th and 5 upcoming. You got to think they're punting. Placer with 3 timeouts left in the bank.
I'm thinking about sending the house
I would.
and see if we can't just put this thing away at the end of the half.
One thing that
they can back, yes they are.
One thing that you saw in the JV game that I found interesting but kind of deflating was, I mean, Placer was clearly going to win that game in the 3rd quarter, and Nevada Union didn't go with the running clock, and they were down like 37 points. I didn't get it.
I didn't understand that either, but, you know, if you want to get as many snaps as you can, another bad snap, and he's
oh,
going to
no,
get caught.
He is going to get caught.
And the Hillman got the football. He dropped it, and the Hillman recovered it on the 1. And guess who? Ian Howes.
Ian Howes wants himself a Player of the Game award. That ball was dropped, and he jumped right on it. 1st and goal from the 1 for the Hillman.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all
Hillman tonight.
I say, it is all Placer Hillman. They've got the ball 1st and goal, 53 seconds here, looking to extend this lead out to 49-6 if they can get
on the
it done.
2-yard line.
Yes, it is. Put it at the 2, 1st and goal for Placer. Stuck, running into the huddle. Hollitz is the receiver. And now we've got some changes going on in the backfield as well. We'll get to those in a moment. Brad Bishop and Hans Grossman still in there, though, and I have a feeling I know where this one might be going.
I was thinking the same thing, Park.
Grossman and Chapman in the backfield, handed off to Marshall. Marshall taking it into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman. Marshall Chapman using those blocks over center with Kyle Christensen, dancing his way in, and now we've got a flag. Hold everything.
And let's see what that's all about. I don't think you need to hold down there due to Hillman. Motion against the Hillman. So take the 6 off the books, back him up 5 yards.
So it'll now be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. The good
now
news
it
for
becomes
Placer
a challenge.
Is that they've still got plenty of time left here.
And 3 timeouts. So motion on the Hillman. Somebody must have been leaning.
Okay, so Hollitz comes in as does Stuck as he gets the play from Coach Montoya. Placer now back up to the 7-yard line, but still plenty of time to work, as Dave mentioned, with 3 timeouts and 50 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter. Split backs behind Stuck, and it's going to be a handoff, and here comes Marshall this time to the near side. Easy dance, and knocks it in to the end zone.
Got 2 flags.
And we've got
a flag on the outside, 77 for the Hillman. That is Colton McElroy was out there, and they're going to call it on Colton, I think. Is that a hold? Wow. They're making it more and more difficult for themselves.
Yeah,
they started the 2, they're back to the 7, now they're going to be back to the 17.
Yeah, it's a 1st and goal now upcoming from the 17-yard line. Seems to me if you could just give it to Marshall somewhere, he's going to find a way to.
I'm thinking that double reverse with that giant hole that seems to emerge every time they go to that play.
So the ball is backed up to the 17. Again.
Is Ian House going to come into the game as receiver? No.
O'Neal checks in at receiver, replacing Hollitz. Stuck has the play as he brings it to the huddle. And ready to go once again with Chapman and Grossman behind. Handed off to Hans, going over center. and able to grind his way inside the 10, down near the 5-yard line. They'll call him down at the 6. So a gain of 7 yards for Grossman, brings up a second and more manageable.
And they go ahead and call the timeout because they want to save some of that clock to talk it over.
Let's keep it here. And coming up at halftime, Tarek Ansari's got you covered in the KAHI studios. We'll get you updated on all things Major League Baseball.
I'm looking forward to hearing some scores from the new FPL. I want to hear some PVL scores as well. And of course, it's always fun to see what's going on over in that Sierra Foothill League.
That it is, and we'll get you caught up on all of that. We'll give you one score as a teaser. How about that?
Thank you.
Rio Linda leading Ponderosa in a shootout, 35-26 at halftime.
And Pondo came in 5-0. Rio Linda with a single loss, but they got Scatabo, and that kid's got 1,200 yards in what, 5 games?
That he does.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive right there.
And we'll leave the rest for Tarek here at half, so keep it right here on KAHI Radio. One other programming note, following the conclusion of this football game, we will take you down to Anaheim for Oakland A's baseball. Here, Stuck and Company, ready to go. Second down and goal. The ball is now at the 6-yard line after that nice run by Grossman. And the Hillman are ready to go. Stuck now rolling to his left. He's going to throw it into the end zone. And
they should have been pass interference.
Yeah,
he was tackled before the ball got there. Mike threw it on the break. He was going to Ian House. Wouldn't that have been something for Ian to get the touchdown after recovering the muff punt attempt at the 2-yard line? And that's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, Brom Lofgren in on the coverage. 3rd and goal upcoming from the 6. Placer doesn't have to use a timeout there as the clock stops on the incompletion with 33 seconds left here in the second quarter. Well, Dave, 3rd and 6 is kind of a sweet spot for the Hillman. I mean, you can pretty much, if you want to do a play fake again, Michael's done a good job. Interesting to see him roll to his left a lot tonight.
I keep waiting for that double reverse again.
I mean,
the double reverse plays, which Chapman scored on what? All 4 of his touchdowns, I think, have come on that play.
House in at receiver, Stuck ready to go, and now we've got another flag.
Another flag. Motion on the Hillman.
So instead of 3rd and goal from the 6, back it up to the
Marshall's
11.
saying, what did I do wrong? He's not understanding this call. Here comes Capra back into the game to add some beef. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 11, and that ate 4 seconds off the clock.
What you got to think at the 11, you may want to think throw. You bring in Capra to give him some time, or you can just go back to the plan or the grass man. It's your choice.
Yeah, I'm keeping the ball on the ground for 2 more plays because you should be able to get 11 yards and 2 cracks. One of those might be a sweep. It wouldn't surprise me to see if they run that fake inside handoff and run the sweep to Bishop down here.
House in there at receiver. Mitchell Moore is the tight end replacing Lewis Fudge. Stuck under center, split backs behind. It's going to be a fake handoff to Grossman, coming to Marshall Chapman around the near side.
Look at that blocking.
Dives for the pylon. Put those arms up. It's going to be close.
He hit the pylon with the football.
That should be a touchdown. Hillman. Marshall Chapman from 11 yards out. Placer is another blowout, 48-6 with 26 seconds left here in the second quarter. All things working. Credit bringing Joey Capper back in there for the block as well.
And that was a monster. They sealed off that whole right-hand side. You saw nothing but green uniforms pushing white back towards the goalpost. And Chapman to the outside. The lone defender tried to get it, but Marshall stretched at the post and hit it.
The left-footed Zach Rohde looking to put through his 48th PAT of the season on his 50th attempt. Good snap, good hold, and it splits the upright. Wow. I mean, you can't believe it, folks, unless you see it in person. Come on out to the Hill one of these days and watch the show, as they call it. 49-6, 26 seconds left in the second quarter. We'll be right back on KAHI.
State Farm, Kathy here.
Hey, it's Mike. My team just pulled off the biggest upset ever.
Nice, Mike.
And some fans are getting crazy. They even flipped over a car.
Whoa.
Turns out it's my car, though.
Oh.
But I don't want to be upset right now. I want to know if State Farm's going to take care of this, right?
We got you covered, Mike.
Yes! Woo!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Proud to be a Hillman neighbor at 1233 High Street, Keith Thomas, State Farm Insurance.
This is Chandler Dakin, class of 2019 defensive end, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Well, if somebody's out there listening in Twitter land, you want to check Max Prep. Zach Rohde may have just taken the lead in the nation. That's the United States of America in PATs.
That's a lot of high school ball played in the U.S. today.
That's right. He came in tonight, number 2, just trailing a kicker in Indiana, and he has got himself 7 PATs that have gone through tonight. All Hillman here in Auburn, 49-6 as Rohde gets ready to tee it up. That touchdown was brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way in Auburn. Thanks to owner Christopher Kirshner for sponsoring high school football. Horn is going to field it at his own 8-yard line now, cut it back to the center. Maldonado's got him in his sights, and Jorge is able to drive him out of bounds.
Got a flag.
And we've got a flag. That kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and More, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Shopping Center.
And the Hillman band getting ready to perform. They got to be as pumped up as the Hillman players are. They're 18 seconds away from hitting this field. I watched their warm-up today. They were all sporting the very nice tie-dye. But the coolest thing about tonight is they've got their feeder schools out there, E.B. Kane being one of them, and forgive me, Bowman School's the other. So they've got the 7th and 8th grade band members joining them tonight for some of the festivities. I want to see if they're down here below us, the Kane kids and the Bowman kids. Marching bands out there ready to put on their show. I'm not sure if they're going to give them a little background help sitting right underneath of us.
Yeah, you know, I was wondering why the band was so loud because we've got 3 of them here. All right, here's a handoff going to Faye. Fuller tries to make the tackle. Now Faye's going to find some room to the outside. Finally pushed out of bounds by Carson Espadal near midfield. So Dawson Faye taking it from the 26 up to the 50, a gain of 24, and Nevada Union in position now to maybe throw a Hail Mary if they can.
Well, I got 10 seconds left. I don't think they're going to get it on the ground unless Faye gets away. And this is what happens when you start playing prevent defense with less than 20 seconds in the half. Put your heads down, gentlemen. Let's see if we can't stop these guys right here.
49-6, all Placer here, and just waiting on the snap. We've got our field photographer who's already decided to take a little time off. The newly dapper Thaddeus Tosti with the locks cut off.
Oh my goodness.
Taking pictures, which you can see on our website at KAHI.com. Just click that Placer helmet. Ready to go here with Hillman in the pistol, hands it off to Faye. And Faye again finds a crease and takes it all the way down to the 40-yard line. So a gain of 10 to Dawson Faye, 2 seconds
Evan
left.
Robinson on the tackle that time.
And it looks like Nevada Union will likely use a timeout, I would assume.
What did he gain on that one?
10.
10 more. So Faye over 100 yards now, despite having a couple of tackles, three tackles for losses.
That's it. They did not call a timeout. Well, 49-6. What else can you say? It's all Placer. It's a revenge game, and revenge is being served here to the Nevada Union Miners at Lefevre Stadium. We'll take a break, come back to the studio show with Tarek Ansari. You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
I know handle. Yeah, I take it.
catch that fish?
No.
Thinking about it?
Yeah, could be good. I like that shirt. Where'd you get that?
Look out.
Dang.
Cyrus.
Touchdown, Hillman. 3 flags on the play.
Okay, so it is wholesale changes. Michael Stuck and company are done for the evening.
Really?
As Placer sends in everybody, and we'll just bear with me, folks, while we set it. It always takes a minute. We do know that we'll be seeing Sam Bender at quarterback if things go as they have.
Yeah, you see Jesse Jordan in there for some running. Drew Vincent, 33, will be in. Jacob Mason will probably come into the game. Jorge might get some carries. We might even see Andrew Garza in the backfield. It's usually what happens when we get to this. I'm really surprised that he's calling off the dogs this early, to tell you the truth.
Coach Montoya barking words of encouragement to Sam Bender. Nathan Russell in there at wide receiver as well. So the Hillman is ready to rock here.
I had him on the sheet from the entire season.
Yeah, number 84 there. We'll see if he gets the catch or not.
He's just one of those guys who...
I'm thinking they're going to keep the ball on the ground. I don't see any passes coming their way.
Placer moving from left to right. 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. We'll see if they can't put one more in and get a running clock here.
Did you see Mike Stuck just running off the field late? It's like, wait a minute. Oh my goodness.
Hand it off. Ryan Arnell's got plenty of room. Arnell taking it
about him.
Up to the 40-yard line. Make it, in fact, a little bit further. Arnell's going to be dropped down at the 42. So that will be a gain of 25 yards there by a guy who's primarily known for his defense at safety. But a good job running there by Arnell.
Well, I remember him getting some totes last year and looking pretty good. But, behind that line, I think maybe I could put good.
And it's going to be another handoff. I believe it's going to Arnell again, this time trying over the right side. And he pushes his way forward. And let me double check that. Yes, it is Ryan Arnell.
Another 5.
Taking it from the 42 up to the 47. So a gain of 5.
Another 5. So he's got 30 and 2 carries, and that rushing yardage total just keeps rising for the Hillman.
As I mentioned, wholesale changes along the line. In the game, number 71, Jaden Desorches, depending on if you pronounce it French or English. I'm not exactly sure. Number 65 at right guard, Jackson Sabins. Bender under center, single back behind. And a little trouble, but he does still get the ball off to number 33, Drew Vincent, who had a good second half last week, and Drew able to grind out 3 yards to midfield.
Drew was lucky to hang on to that football because it almost got taken away by the defensive players. They tried to make that exchange. The defensive player got his arm in between the ball and Vincent, but Vincent managed to hold on to that and get that 3.
Morales there with the tackle. And by the way, last week, Vincent with a kind of a breakout game, scoring 2 touchdowns in the second half for Placer in that big blowout win against El Dorado. Make that 2 weeks ago, previous to the bye. Nathan Russell still in there at wide receiver. And you've got Vincent in the backfield. Sam Bender, the quarterback, back under center, split backs behind. And it's going to be a handoff to Jordan as he plows his way across midfield. Actually, make that Jacob Mason, taking it into minor territory down to the 43-yard line. So a gain of 7 for Jacob Mason, who coming into tonight, 13 carries, 93 yards and a touch in cleanup action in the second half.
Even the second team is fun to watch.
Absolutely, because it's the wing T.
And they're running it as only the Placer Hillman seems to be able to run it. A lot of teams that ran it in the last 2 decades went away because the fat offense is now the spread. I'm just not sure every school can run the spread.
Kane Martin checks in at receiver, 1st and 10 Hillman. It's going to be a handoff to Arnell. They attempted the strip, and that allowed Ryan to maybe pick up a yard down to the 42. Yes, he did. Good hard run by
out
Arnell.
of that one that time as they are going for the football. That's really their only hope right now.
Absolutely.
Is to cause some turnovers. Maybe take a little bit of a chip, thinking that Placer's already called off their first string.
Lopez in on the tackle for the Miners. And now we've got some more guys checking in. Number 34, Isaac Smith will now be the lone wide receiver up top. Back in the backfield as well, you've got actually at tight end, I think it is, Mitchell Moore. And now it's going to be a handoff coming around the near side and finding some room and able to pick up a first down and more.
He's still going.
Jacob Mason continues to plow down the field, 25 and down inside the 15-yard line. Good hard running by Jacob Mason. He's finally dropped all the way down at the 13-yard line. So a gain of 29 there, Dave, by Jacob Mason. Good hard running, as you mentioned. He didn't quit on the play.
No,
looked like the defense started to, and he had to get some more yards.
He hit the sideline, and everybody pretty much gave up, and then he put on a burst, and he was gone. I think the loneliest guys on the field for the next, let's call it 20 minutes, is going to be the receivers. They are not going to see the football.
Caden Espinal checks in at wide receiver. As Bender's back under center, split backs behind, including Arnell. It's going to be a handoff to Arnell, met in the backfield, but still pushing his way forward. Boy, he's outweighed by the defender tackling him, Ferguson, by at least 80 pounds, and he still turns it into a positive yardage play, gaining 2.
He did his best imitation of a mini Hans Grossman there.
Absolutely.
Kept the legs turning, stayed up straight and proud and tall, and just pushed that ball forward. More players coming in. Kane Martin.
Yeah, Kane Martin into the contest.
At receiver, again, will not see the football.
All right, ready to go. 2nd down and 8, ball at the 12-yard line. It's going to be a handoff and met at the line of scrimmage. Then driven back as Arnell. It's going to be, actually looks like they might, nope, it'll be a no-gainer here.
Arnell for the first no-gainer so far, but he's had 25, 5, 1, 2, and none. Still not a bad little piece of work coming in for his first drive of the game.
Yeah, 3rd down and 7 upcoming for the Hillman. 3rd down and 8, I mean. Listen to our pal Dan Wilson over here. I should be paying attention. I was trying to figure out who's played center. We got a 58 in there at center. I don't have that on either of the Hillman rosters via Max Press or the guide. All right, so Bender back under center, split backs behind, including Arnell. It's going to be a handoff. And coming around the near side, looking for some room and pushing his way out inside the 5 is number 22, Jacob Mason.
That should get him another first down.
And it does. Yeah. He takes it from the 12 all the way down to the 3. So 1st and goal from the 3 following that 9-yard gain by Mason.
Mason had a nice little run here. There he is.
There he is.
8.
Okay, so Kane Martin in there at receiver. Bender getting the instructions from the sidelines. I mean, you can't even tell the difference. It looks like the first team offense in here as Placer breaks the huddle. 1st and goal at the 3. Arnell with single back behind, handed off to Ryan. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman. Ryan Arnell with his first 6 of the year. And Placer extending this lead. The blowout continues 55-6 with 7:11 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's a celebration for this huge crowd here at Lefebvre.
50 burger served up yet again. So what, in consecutive weeks, 49, 48, 69, 70, 70, 55.
Burger.
Wow.
Wow. All right.
Prolific much?
Let's see if Rhodey can put through his 49th point after try of the season. My goodness. 7:11 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's all Hillman 56-6 here on KAHI.
All right, I want to ask you something, but you have to promise not to laugh at me. Okay, what? Do you think the State Farm jingle really works?
Like, for real? Like, if you sing the jingle, will your agent actually appear and help you out? Yeah, of course it works. I saw it on the internet.
Proud to be a Hillman neighbor at 1233 High Street and a sponsor of KAHI's high school football coverage this season. Keith Thomas, State Farm Insurance.
This is Ryan Arnell, Placer High School, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
You know, sometimes the stars align and a guy that just scored a touchdown brings us back. Thank you so much, Ryan Arnell. That touchdown was brought to you by the Man Cave, who's had, 8 mentions tonight. Thanks to owner Christopher Kirshner over there at 923 Lincoln Way. Check them out on Facebook. They got a bunch of cool stuff. Pop culture memorabilia, sports gear, anything to outfit your man.
Giant gloved seat of Italian leather that's got me just, I want that for my cave.
This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies and more. As Jackson Horn and Dawson Fay await the kick. It's going to go to the up back, though, at the 20-yard line. Moving his way back towards the center of the field.
Logan Lopez.
Is Logan Lopez taking it across the 25 and down near the 27. His helmet came off after the game, and now he's a little slow getting up. They're calling for the trainer. Boy, something happened there in the pile because Lopez has his helmet off. He's kind of writhing in agony down there as we have an official's timeout for injury. Let's get a 30-second break in. 56-6 Placer with 7:06 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
The Newcastle Area Business Association is a proud sponsor of Placer Hillman football on KAHI. For over 30 years, NABA has awarded Newcastle area high school students with scholarships. Funds for the scholarships come from the NABA Mountain Mandarin Festival, and the festival is celebrating its 25th anniversary the weekend before Thanksgiving, November 16th through 18th. For more information on the Newcastle Area Business Association, stop by newcastleareabusiness.com.
Welcome back to the KAHI Studios. I'm Tarek Ansari. Let's take a quick look at the Oakland A's game. They're facing off against the Angels. Score now 6-0 Angels. That game in the top of the 6th inning. A's have a runner on first with 1 out. Not looking good for tonight, but they really can't go anywhere from here. They can't get a home wild card. They can't clinch division, so if they just lose the next 3, it wouldn't be good for their chemistry, but it would still have the same result on Wednesday. So that's the score update for the A's, so you can always listen to on the Voice of the Foothills. Now back out to Casey and Dave with the call.
We haven't got to the 7th inning yet. Don't get excited.
Oh yeah, we need those late inning heroics. By the way, good news, Lopez was able to be helped off the field with the trainers. Didn't look that serious from my vantage point, so that is good news. Now we got a motion penalty here on the Miners before Parker Hillman and company can get things going here with their first drive of the second half, already trailing by, it's 50 points. So
I'm really surprised that we did not see Dawson Fay, against the Hillman, by the way, that we did not see Dawson Fay jump in at any time in the evening in that Wildcat or pistol that they said that he's been running. I mean, he's passed the ball 14 times. He's obviously taken snaps at quarterback, but we get to see it tonight. You would have thought when things weren't going well early, that might have been the case.
This is going to be a handoff to Fay, looking for some room across the far side. He does find that room for a first down and more. He scampers out of bounds up near, let's see where they mark him out.
They're marking out at the 43.
At the 43, so that'll be a gain of 11 and a first down for the Miners. Good hard running there. I knew this game was going to be entertaining. If I wasn't broadcasting right now, I might be there. Rio Linda, 35. Ponderosa, 32. Third quarter.
At Pondo.
At Pondo. Lincoln shutting out Oakmont, 21-zip at the other FBL opener at halftime.
Okay, so Pondo could fall from the ranks of the unbeaten at home to Rio Linda in a shootout. That sets up real well for our game next week.
Double slot look with Fay to the left of Hillman. He'll hand it off to him, and he'll take it for a decent gain, taking it from the 43 up to the 46. So Fay able to pick up 3 as the clock ticks under 7 minutes left here in the third quarter, with the Nevada Union Miners moving from right to left.
And by rule, when the clock strikes 0-0-0 at the end of 3 with this lead, we will have a running clock in the fourth quarter.
That we will. Talk about a surprise score in Sacramento. Colfax blanking Foothill 14-0. That's a Foothill team that scored 50 points against Rio Linda last week, folks. All right, back here. Hillman ready to go. This one's going to be a handoff to the slot receiver who came in motion before the play got going. Takes it into Hillman territory. Does Hayden Lee from his own 46.
Flag.
And now we got a flag after the play. Down at the 39-yard line. So that is a gain of 17 before the penalty. Let's see what the penalty is.
Yeah, and Andy Alvarez is getting a little bit of a chewing on. I think he might have been the man. No, actually not. It's going to be against the Miners.
Okay, so wipe the 17 off the board. Obviously, it looks like a hold from where it was thrown.
They're going to give him impartially that game because they're going to mark it from the spot.
Okay, so from his own 46 to the Hillman 44 is a gain of 10,
right.
No, 12.
12. Back to that.
Back to their own
so give a game
46. Yep.
Was that Fagan?
Actually, that was Lee. Okay, this time Hillman's going to throw it over the middle, and the receiver dropped it. Boy, good job of coverage there by the Hillman. 2 Hillman defenders in on that. Andy Alvarez joined by Sergio Ramirez. It was intended for number 7, A.J. Meyer, and he just couldn't handle the pressure.
Yeah, just a fifth pass of the night for Hillman.
Third down and 6 upcoming. And as you can tell here, we've made some wholesale changes. Half the passer defenders. We'll continue to set it as we move. 3rd and 6, ball at the Miner 47 on the near hash. Back in the pistol, handing it off to Fay is Hillman. He's going to be a little bit shy of the first down. Needed 6, looks like he got 5.
Fay with another 5-yard burst, and he's now at 119 yards on the evening.
But clearly they're going, trailing by 50 with the 4th and 1 in Placer territory.
Got a timeout on the field.
Now we do have a timeout on the field. Let's see what they're looking at.
Is it football?
Is it? I don't think it's close enough to measure. Maybe it is.
No.
I'm seeing at least a half a ball in between. All right, we're going to call it 4th and short, 4th and 1. And I'm guessing this is probably going to be going to Fay up the middle as Hillman is back there in the pistol with Fay flanked to his left, double slot look. Hands it off to Fay, going over the right side. He's got a first down or more. Continuing to drive deeper into Placer territory. Finally dropped down at the 42-yard line.
Give him 5 more as he continues to pad his stats.
Evan Robinson in on the tackle. Clock continues to move. 5:39 and counting in a 56-6 ball game. And now the Miners taking a little bit of time as they started towards the line of scrimmage. Now they go back into the huddle. A single receiver comes here to the near side. Still conversating back there in the backfield are Fay and Thorne and Hillman. Hillman now with the three-step drop, throws it down the center of the field. It's anybody's ball. Incomplete. Couple of Hillman back there in coverage. The pass was intended for Horn.
Yeah, Drew Vincent really wanted that football. His hand was up. He's let it just fall a little bit more. I want to get an interception here.
So 2nd and 10.
So another miss. Now he's 1 of 6 is Hillman. But throwing the ball this late in the game, you're just trying to maybe get a score here, get a score there, make it look better. But nothing looks good when you're down by 50. Other than the fourth quarter running clock.
Hillman breaks the huddle. He's going to hand it off to Fay, who is crashed down. That could be a loss of 1. In fact, it will be. Back to the 43-yard line. Bunch of Hillman in on the tackle, including Jorge Maldonado, joined back there by Drew Vincent. Boy, Drew Vincent playing some good defense here in the second half.
Well, this whole, and these kids that are playing right now for Placer, they're used to playing.
And they're used to playing well at the junior varsity level last year.
They played great at JV level, and now they've been playing, half the third and all of the fourth in just about every game of the season. That's where you build depth, and this is one deep football team.
3rd down and 11. Hillman under center, handing it off to Horn. Great job of tackling there by number 8, Ryan Arnell. He scored a touchdown on the last drive, and he brought down Horn with the quickness after a gain of 2. 4th down and long upcoming, 9 yards.
Just continuing where the first stringers left off. These kids are out there. They like their playing time. They like to know that they're going to get the reps. And they root real hard for that varsity to get a big lead so they can get in and play some meaningful minutes in the second half of these ball games.
4th and 9. They'll send A.J. Meyer up top. Will the Miners. As Hillman back under center, split backs behind. He's going to roll to the far side and look to throw it downfield. He's forced to throw it to Fay. And Fay's going to be stopped well shy of the first down yardage necessary. He's dropped.
Is that David Robinson out there, 52, that made that tackle in the open field?
Yep, it was.
Indeed.
So that'll be a gain of 4, but it's not enough as the Hillman take over after the turnover on down. So Placer back in business with a 56-6 lead, 3 minutes and 56 seconds away from a running clock. As I mentioned, Dave, you win and the city shows up. A lot of people here in the stands. The gold line was packed earlier. Now folks are just kind of, having conversations, catching up because it's a 50-point game. But I really enjoy seeing the support that Auburn has shown to this Placer Hillman football team, and they've certainly earned it with their performance on the field every single week this season. That's going to be another handoff going to Ryan Arnell, and looks like they're going to gain a 1.
Yeah, give him 1, maybe 2.
Take it from the 39. They both spotted down to the 41. So 2 yards for Mr. Arnell. Seeing his first extensive action at running back this season. He's played a lot at safety, but getting a chance to touch the ball.
38 yards in the touchdown. And 7 carries. It's like 5+ in carry. Why not give him the football? What are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, by tomorrow, the All-American Ribs and Chili Cook-Off. Placer coaches competing in the ribs against Del Oro coaches and Bear River coaches. No Nevada Union Miners invited, but it will be a fun day out there at Recreation Park as the handoff is taken into Miner territory by number 22, Jacob Mason, taking it from the Hillman 41 down to the Miners 46. So that'll be a gain of 15 and another first down for the Hillman. Getting back to our point, folks, come on out to Recreation Park right there on Auburn Folsom Boulevard, 123 Recreation Drive. Dave and I will be MC in the All-American Ribs and Chili Cook-Off. We've got 12 teams competing for the Rib Championship, won by the Placer coaches last year, and this year the kids are participating in the Chili Cook-Off. It's the 18 and under crew.
That's the first time they've almost stopped that play tonight, and it took all the way until now to get Drew Vincent down on that inside trap.
No gain there for Vincent.
Lost a yard.
The event opens at 11 a.m. The tastings are from noon to 3, and you can get tickets there at the venue for $20. That gets you, I believe, 8 tastings, and then you get to be a judge. At the end of the day, we'll be handing out a big old trophy, which was won by the Placer coaches last year.
People's Choice Award type thing where they put the vote in front of each person?
Exactly, yeah. You get to make the votes. We'll make the call along with everybody else. And there are 2 groups of Hillman people going. There's an alumni group and the coaches.
Wow. That should be pretty good. Absolutely.
Here's a nice cut. Oh, and finding his way into daylight. He's going to head for the end zone. Jacob Mason takes it 46 yards for the touchdown. Hillman 62-6 as Jacob Mason celebrates with his teammates in the end zone. Dave, I'm going to go out on a limb Yeah, because I can't think because I'm so excited after the touchdown. I'm going to say this is the biggest win in progress that Placer's ever had against Nevada Union in the long history of these two programs that do not like each other. The kids said they were going to come out and give it to them, and that's exactly what they've done tonight here in Auburn.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jacob Mason just went over 100 yards.
Well done. Well
105 yards on 5 carries.
You know what else just happened? Zach Rody made his 49th point after try of the season.
I thought he had 50 on the
Well, let's call it 51 then.
51.
Timeout
He's got
here.
a burger's worth.
63-6, all Placer here on KAHI.
River Valley Community Bank, a proud sponsor of Hillman football, has opened a new full-service office in downtown Auburn. The bank is located at 905 Lincoln Way and is now open. The River Valley Community Bank team is looking forward to serving the financial needs of Auburn and the surrounding communities. For more details, contact Luke Parnell or call Ross at 530-537-2850.
With River Valley Community Bank, you can have the commitment, confidence, and convenience that you deserve in your bank. River Valley Community Bank, local banking done right.
River Valley Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is Blake Bachman, class of 2019 offensive line, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
That is so funny. Jeff Carrasco, I know this guy. He worked with my light wife for years. Dan Wilson just handed us the last time the Placer Hillman beat the Nevada Union Miners in Lefevre Stadium, 1986. I love Carrasco's lead. There's really no other way to describe this team that most thought was too untalented, too small, too slow. But yet, they pull off the 20-19. McElhern Wilson team for 3 scores. Would that be big Dan Wilson to our right? Yes, it is. Otherwise known as Danny Wilson. Back in
look
the
at
day.
that. We love it. The PA announcer here at Placer, he had the article handy. We certainly find that convenient. We love it. And this is going to be an all-time beatdown as well. I mean, look, 63-6. It's not a surprise if you followed this team this season. You knew they were good. We know they're very talented. They are looking to hand their 3rd consecutive 70-burger to a team.
I think they would probably like nothing better than go back and play Crenshaw again, but I don't think Crenshaw may not even qualify for the playoffs this year. So they knocked off one of the teams so far that knocked them off last year in a big way, because they got hammered pretty good last year. Was it 43-16 was the final at
Grass Valley,
out there? And that caused to make some, I wouldn't say wholesale changes, but they made a few adjustments after that game to some of the linemen, and it clicked after that because they went on a tear.
All right, after the kickoff, 1st and 10 for the Miners. Ball at their own 37-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Fay, and holding on for the tackle. Good job by Sam Bender, who's playing quarterback and DB. Fay was able to pick up a 1st down after a good hard run, but still.
12?
Yeah. We'll give him 10. 10? But a good job by the quarterback, the backup quarterback, getting in there playing a little defense.
How about that? Well, I'm not sure if he's going to be guy getting penned in next year to be the starter, or are they going to bring the JV quarterback into the fold and put him as the starter next year.
This time it's going to be a handoff to Horn, looking for room over the right side, and a good job of tackling there. Nice open field tackle by number 51, Keith Messerall, along the far sideline after a gain of 3 for Horn.
On the Placer defense, you got to give credit to where credit is due. They really stepped up in the first half to really basically shut down Dawson Fay. Outside of that 74-yard run that he broke, he had nothing. He had nothing going. When you look at the stat line, -5, 5, 0, 0, -1, 6. Not the kind of thing you thought would happen, and another good defensive stand by the Hillman there as they push the running back and they lose a yard.
Yeah, that one went to Israel Gonzalez, number 4 for Nevada Union. They're going to mark him down there at midfield, so no gain. 4th down and 7 upcoming. Mater in on the tackle. Austin Mater having time to play guard for first team offense and not get himself a tackle on defense. They're going, actually it's 3rd down, check that, 3rd and 7 here. And it's going to be a handoff, a delayed handoff coming around to number 10, Hayden Lee, looking to find the edge, and he does, pushing his way forward for what should be a 1st down.
So Bender was the first guy there, kind of hit him a little too high, took a little bit of a ride, and then finally forced him out.
He'll take it down to the 43-yard line, gain of 7, 1st down there.
Hayden Lee?
Hayden Lee, one of the captains of this Nevada Union team, who moved from the Sierra Foothill League without a win, and now they're opening their Foothill Valley League season 0-1 and not with a very good performance here tonight. That's the final play of the quarter. Let's take a break. 63-6, Placer with the lead here on KAHI.
Hi, I'm Matt Spokley, your Auburn City Council member and former mayor. As a civil engineer, business owner, and proud father of 2 Placer Hillman girls, I'm running for re-election to continue providing innovative solutions to issues affecting Auburn, like fixing our roads and sidewalks, keeping public safety a top priority, and boosting our local economy. I've built a business, raised a family, and I'm invested in Auburn. Please re-elect Matt Spokely for Auburn City Council. I'm Matt Spokely, and I approve this message. Campaign ID number 1262839.
And welcome back to the KAHI Studios. I'm Tarek Ansari. Let's get a quick score update. And we're going to start with the Foothill Valley League. Wow. And Casey was not kidding when he said it's a shootout out there between Rio Linda and Ponderosa. Rio Linda up 35-32. Lincoln up 21-0 on Oakmont. And also one other score, we have Folsom up still 41-0 against Rockland. Well, that's it for the score update. Now back to Casey and Dave with the fourth quarter call with possibly a running clock.
Well, no, it should be a running clock.
Once we get going.
It's automatic.
Yeah, 63-6, all Hillman here. First down for the Miners, and it's going to be a handoff once again going to Israel Gonzalez, trying to find some room back to the near side. And he does as we switch into the field. Nevada Union moving from left to right here in the fourth quarter. Gonzalez takes it down to the 39-yard line, so a 4-yard gain for number 4. And I'm telling you, Dave, if Placer gets the ball back, which they will with a running clock regardless probably, you got to push for that 70. You have to. You got to do it just to feel good about yourself, you know?
I'm looking forward to next week. I want to see this Scatabo kid from Rio Linda play.
Hand off to Fay. He's got a creased out. He stiff arms the defender, finds his way in open field, 30, 20, 15, and scampers out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Let's see where they mark it officially.
29 that time for Dawson.
They put down at the 11-yard line.
Bender's coming off. He looks like he got maybe the breath knocked out of him.
Yeah, he got a stiff arm from Fay, pushed it down to the ground. That may have knocked the wind out of him. So Ryan Arnell will come in back there at safety. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Miners, trailing 63-6 and taking their time as it is the fourth quarter and a running clock. So it should be a quick one here, folks. Thanks for those of you that stuck around. After the game, Mel's Diner player of the game. I know Dave and I have a debate between two players probably. We like them both very much, and we'll see how it shakes out. Once again, this is going to be a handoff going over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking to find some room across the far side and pushes his way.
Ridden out of bounds.
Yeah, ridden out of bounds there by Arnell, but he was able to take it down to the 8-yard line. 4-yard gain there.
Well, I'm telling you what, Ryan Arnell's had a heck of a ball game in the second half, coming in as a reserve. What am I talking about? The whole second team has had a heck of a second half.
That they have. 2nd and 6 yards upcoming, split backs behind. Hillman handed off to Fay, pushing his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Miners. Dawson Fay taking it in from 6 yards out to make the score a little bit prettier for tomorrow, I suppose. 63-12. Placer still with a 51-point lead and the extra point pending. Look, Fay's a good athlete. He's going to get his, and he got one right there.
Yeah, and you can't even tell what the scoring drive was. It started with 147 in the third quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays to go that 63 yards for the score, but the clock continues to run.
Tovar will come in for the extra point. Oh, in fact, they're going to go for 2. Never mind. You got Hillman under center, split backs behind, handed off to Gonzalez, pushing his way towards the end zone. Let's see if they put those arms up. I think he's going to be shy, and he is. Brought down to the 1-yard line. So 63-12, our score. And let's get a quick break in. 63-12, 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
Depot Bay Coffee Roasters features coffee roasted right on site. This fall, enjoy a pumpkin spice latte or one of their espresso drinks, a smoothie, or milkshake. Depot Bay also has great breakfast burritos and sandwiches, bagels, a wide lunch sandwich menu, including paninis, and every home game Friday, Depot Bay donates 20% of all proceeds to the Placer Hillman Football Boosters. 983 High Street in Auburn, across from Bank of America. Proud sponsor of Hillman Football. Open every day with online ordering at depoebaycoffee.com.
This is your home for Friday Night Football in the Foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
Casey Freelove, Dave Rosenthal with you here from Lefevre, where it's a joyous night for the Hillman faithful. 63-12, all Placer, all night. An impressive open to Foothill Valley League play. Next week, we're going to have a fun one. Dave and I are traveling down to Rio Linda as Placer will take on a team that's probably moving on up if they win and hold on to win tonight against the Rio Linda Knights led by Cameron Scatterboot.
I'm just chuckling right now because I noticed that Jesse Wiggum and Kane Martin went to the wrong end of the field to receive the kick. Had to run 80 yards the other direction to get back into their correct positions.
All right, so the Hillman with Kane Martin back
And
deep.
they're missing a player. Yeah,
Yes, here comes Jorge.
Nope, he's getting pulled back
Now
out.
Sam Bender,
There you
who
go.
shook off that wind knocking out of him earlier. He's back there deep to field the kick as well. Both players awaiting the ball at their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, they don't want any of those first stringers going back in. And by the way, the Placer Hillman A team, only a half of football tonight.
All right, Tovar with the kick. Bender's going to have a chance
Of course,
to
it
field
goes to Bender, the guy who comes out after getting shook up just a little bit.
He's going to cut across the near side, out across
Look
20,
at that little
25,
quarterback
30.
go.
Look at Bender go out to the 40, continue to push his way towards midfield and into minor territory goes Sam Bender.
Wow.
Boy, that's one heck of a run there. Fielded it at his own 12 and took it, darn near 40 yards into minor territory. It'll be 1st and 10 Hillman. Ball at the Nevada Union 47.
Boy, if he can show that kind of speed, they may have a new wrinkle next year. They might actually let him run the option rather than keep handing it off.
Make that the 46. They'll give him another yard on that. Under 7 minutes left here, 63-12. What we'll do, if this is the final drive, we'll give out our player of the game, get some commercials in, then send you out to Oakland A's baseball down in Anaheim. But still plenty to work on here with under 7 left. And Placer dominating by 51 points. Bender's going to broken play and have to run it out, and he's going to end up losing a yard. He tried to hand it off to number 34, Isaac Smith. Looked like some miscommunication.
Yeah, well, you know, he's probably gassed a little bit too. So he looked like he was moving a little slow coming out of there, and I think the running back kind of ran him over trying to get to the spot, and Bender just didn't have the juice to get out there.
Hayden Laccarell checks into the game at running back for Placer. Getting to know this team front to back, Dave, in games like this.
And Bender still looks a little shaken up as he comes to the sideline to get the play.
He's like, Coach, can you just send it in with the back so I can stand back here and hand it off?
Michael might have to go back in. Nope. Sorry, not going to go back in.
Okay, so Bender and Arnell are in there. You've got Kane Martin at receiver. And now...
And you got a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be
much time.
I think it's a delay. Yeah, that's okay, though. Back it up back into Hillman territory further. It'll be 2nd down now and 16 from the Placer 42.
It's not as if they're going to stop the clock on that penalty.
They're 2nd and 11, sorry. I mean, when you get down to the 4th quarter, you've got a bunch of players you're not that familiar with. It takes a second to get adjusted here, folks, I promise you. Bender's going to hand it off, going over left guard is Ryan Arnell, able to take it from the 47 back to midfield, so a gain of 3 as the clock continues to tick with just about 5 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. And Placer Hillman football about to move to 6-0 on the season. One of the most prolific offenses in the entire state of California continues to chug. And between them, folks, believe it or not, Marshall Chapman and Hans Grossman, 32 touchdowns in 6 games of football. Those are 12-minute quarters.
That's pretty impressive right there. It's got to be a state leader.
I think so. I think they may have surpassed the backfield down there at Roosevelt High School in Los Angeles.
The one kid down there had 6 and the other one had the rest.
That's correct. All right, 3rd down and 14 for Placer. Bender ready to go.
Just directing traffic.
Split backs behind him. And Bender was supposed to hand it off, but the running back may have missed the call there, and Bender's chased back into his own territory.
Now you got a flag coming
and a
out.
flag coming in.
More flags coming in. I think the Hillman might have done something nefarious there towards the end. Personal foul. No, against Nevada Union. Wait. He just said personal foul against NU and then marched the ball the wrong direction. Did the section know something that we didn't release this tonight by giving us this crew? And I know it's late and I usually harp on these guys earlier and probably could have the entire game if it had not been a runaway.
Dave's a yelper sometimes.
It's a good thing they don't have Yelp for high school officials. Because I know these guys get paid.
That they do.
If you're getting paid.
All right, well, the penalty backs the Hillman up to their own 31-yard line. Got an interesting look here as they are, well, punt time. It's 4th down, of course. What am I talking about? So they're going to kick it away. It's the first time we've seen Cyrus O'Neill punt the ball in Foothill Valley League play. And he'll kick it from his own 31 down to roughly the 37-yard line. And that's where it goes out of bounds.
A 38-yard kick, not bad.
And this should be the last play of the game, or last drive, of the game, I should say, with 3 minutes left. What we'll do here, as I mentioned, let Dave and I get this Mel's Diner player of the game in following the conclusion. We'll play you a couple of commercials just so we can get caught up. We appreciate all our sponsors so much. And then we will take you down to Anaheim for Oakland A's baseball, the conclusion of the contest. Next week is going to be a normal week. We will have the Thursdays on the Hill segment at 5:30 on the KAHI Afternoon News. The KAHI Coaches Show at 7 p.m. Hillman highlights, an interview with Coach Montoya and the players. And then next Friday night, Dave and I come to you from the campus of Rio Linda High School, a field that we've not been to, where Cameron Scattaboo and the Knights.
Been there for a playoff game years ago for the Hillman. Watched them lose in Rio Linda. It's kind of a dreary, rainy, wannabe foggy kind of evening.
Well, let me rephrase that. Our first game as a team.
There we go.
The A's continuing to trail, by the way, 6-0 Angels, bottom 7. Who would have thought the Angels were even capable of pitching?
It's the bottom of 7. Oh, the Angels are up there in Anaheim.
All right, so 2:11 left, first and 10. Ball at the 27-yard line of the Miners. Handoff to Fay, going over the left side. Dawson Fay looking to pad those stats a little bit here as he takes it from the 27 up to the 33, so a gain of 6 for Mr. Fay.
So he has been the offense, had 101 yards in the first half. Not close to that in the second, although he's put up over 50 in the second half. So he's going to end up with $1.50, maybe $1.60 on the night. Second, a little bit below his average, I think. Second.
Let's call it 9.
Yeah. Throw it?
All right,
Really?
so Heileman's going to throw it. He's got it. Oh, he overthrew the receiver, Horn, in Hillman territory. Back there on the coverage of Sergio Ramirez. The ball falls to the turf, and it will now bring up a 3rd down and 4. Hey, quick shout out to some of our sponsors. Auburn Ford, one of our newest sponsors, Specialties in Sports, who designed the very polo shirts Dave Rosenthal and I are wearing right now. The River Valley Community Bank, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, Robinson Sand and Gravel, and a separate shout out to Betty and Company across the street at Strictly Toyandas. Thank you so much, Betty, for giving us that prime parking every single week. We do appreciate it so. 3rd down and 4, back under center is Heileman. It's going to be a delayed handoff going over the left side with nothing doing there for Hayden Lee. In fact, he lost a yard on that play back to the 32. And 4th down upcoming. This could be the last play of the football game as the clock ticks down to 40 seconds left.
4th and 5?
No burger, Dave. No double burger. They got the 50 burger, but they didn't get the quail leg blue bomber with the bacon and the jalapeno strings that we talked about last week. But
They've
still,
already served up a couple of those this year. You can't do it every week, but maybe you can. That's pass interference.
Pass interference called on the Hillman.
Well, it doesn't matter because by the time they place the ball, I don't think they're going to run an untimed down. They're going to call that the ball game. It's going to take your time. Take your time. Pick up your flag. Let the clock run. Get this thing over and done with.
8 seconds left.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And on a historic night in Auburn, the Placer Hillman and the Nevada Union Miners, their biggest loss ever in the history of this long dating series. 63-12, all Placer all night, dispensing with the team, serving up a dish of revenge. It is cold, and it is done by Placer football, led by our Mel's Diner player of the game. Dave will tell you who he is in just a moment. Don't forget, if you're listening, bring your ticket stub from tonight's game, or tomorrow you can go as well. You'll get 10% off your entire meal at Mel's Diner, Highway 49 and Luther Road in Auburn Park. We've been holding off on giving this guy the player of the game. We can give it to him every single week if we
Just
want.
about.
And he earned it tonight.
Yeah, 10 rushes, 92 yards. 5 of those rushes touchdowns. The plan was in effect early on. Marshall Chapman, our Mel's Diner player of the game.
Well, we're going to get some commercials in, then send you down to Oakland. Be sure to join us next week with a pregame at 6:45, 7 o'clock with the kick from Rio Linda. For our field photographer, Thaddeus Tosti, our on-field engineers, Brad Smith and Lila, my broadcast partner, Dave Rosenthal, and our producer, Tarek Ansari, back at the studio. I'm Casey Freelove. You've been listening to a historic blowout courtesy of Placer football tonight against the Nevada Union Miners, 63-12 the final. We'll talk to you next week from Rio Linda on Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
It's over.
Please join us next week as the Hillman are on the road as they travel to Rio Linda High School. JV game begins at 5 with the varsity beginning at approximately 7 o'clock. Please drive home safely. Remember, the best of times, the worst of times, and at all times, it is great to be a Hillman.
Who are you and what are we doing here?
I'm Zach Rohde and I kick for Placer High School.
Yeah, and what happened today?
I got ranked #1 in the nation for most points by a kicker in high school.
And how's that feel?
Feels pretty good.
Yeah, did you ever expect something like that when you started here?
I did not. This is my first year playing football.
First year playing football. Well, congratulations. Nice work today. You bet.